Stick with me, you and I are about to watch a guy fade away while his brain replaces absolute worst life choices. Thanks, brain. Super helpful. First up on the highlight reel, my ex-girlfriend, Jiangzi Shuan, the debate club president, casually admitting she had slept with 57 different guys, and her baby might actually be mine. Statistically, a 1 in 58 chance. Way better odds than winning the lottery, right? Plus, she demanded I hand over all my supplies so she could survive instead of me. So romantic. I literally gave everything to that girl, and my so-called best buddies? They literally stabbed me. Not in the back. Straight through the chest. Pure class. So fading away, soul was screaming into the void. If I could redo everything, I'd become the most selfish jerk alive. Truly touching final words, honestly. Then my flashback kept rewinding. Suddenly, hear a different ex-girlfriend. Li Minggao, alleged sweetheart, dropping the classic. My roommate dislikes you, so we are completely finished. That was the actual reason. Her roommate. I got dumped for failing a vibe check with someone I never even dated. I thought, oh nice. The doom montage finally reached sophomore year. Then I open my eyes. I am sitting inside a restaurant. A juicy steak sits right before me. Li Minggao sits across the table in her skirt and knit vest, looking super annoyed because apparently, I zoned out during my very own breakup. I checked my phone. June 21st, 2026, 3:10 p.m. I didn't perish. I regressed. Because here is the thing about my world. At 7 p.m. tonight, the apocalypse hits. Everyone gets teleported into a vehicle alongside whatever specific organization they belong to. Your class, your club, family, or even your weird hobby group. Driving endlessly down a terrifying highway of pure doom. Pay close attention here. Survival rates are complete garbage. And everyone awakens a superpower based on the strongest energetic object near them. And that energy means literally anything. Historical value, emotional attachment, supernatural vibes, or tech level, you name it. Some guy wearing a red string bracelet blessed by his entire family tree gets S rank defense. Or some dude holding a creepy dagger, a rank killer instinct. Another guy gripping a signed championship baseball from his favorite team. Insane psychic blasts. And then, the legends. One unlucky guy was just exercising his wrist when the apocalypse struck. He woke up with a B rank ability, literally called human shape sensor. Honestly, let's not discuss that. As for me, in my past life, the strongest item I carried was just a key. The storage room key for the bubble tea shop where I worked part-time. So, I awakened in a ranked talent called petty theft. Basically, long-range item looting. Honestly, it was super useful, but did I benefit myself? Nope. I stupidly fed every single looted resource to Jiangzi Shuan's debate club like a monumental fool, and she repaid that loyalty by basically sleeping with half the surviving population. I know what you're thinking. With my second chance and 4 hours to prepare, my first brilliant idea was totally ruining everyone in the debate club. Second thought, okay, maybe let's not do that. Modern forensics still exist, and getting arrested means starting the apocalypse. Trapped inside a vehicle alongside actual hardened criminals. Definitely not ideal. So, I started thinking, what is the strongest energy source I can easily grab? A second-hand antique market, an abandoned hospital, or a funeral parlor? Maybe I could just lie on someone's Ferrari. Then it truly hit me. Why am I limiting myself to this single city? I have hours left, and high-speed trains exist. My brain raced ancient bronze cauldrons, an art gallery, priceless historical relics, haunted villages, or cursed statues. But then, one specific place lit up in my mind like a neon sign from heaven. The Forbidden City. 600 years as the center of imperial power. 24 emperors ruling from that spot. And sitting right there inside the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the legendary Golden Dragon throne itself. That throne has witnessed more power plays, betrayals, and massive dynasty changes than any TV marathon. That is not just legend energy. That is not ghost story energy. That is pure national destiny energy. If I can just park myself near that throne when the apocalypse drops, my ultimate power-up is going to be absolutely unhinged. I checked the train schedule. 2 hours away. It is 3:10 now. Apocalypse at 7. The math checks out, barely. Li Minggao was still talking. Something about me looking crazy. Girl, you have zero idea. I grabbed my things and ran. The dragon throne is calling, and I am not going to be late. I could not stop grinning like a total maniac. Li Mingao was frantically waving her hand in my face, probably thinking I had mentally snapped from our breakup. Honestly, fair assumption. I was standing up, staring at my phone, laughing like an absolute lunatic who just found a massive discount. She tried giving the classic "you will find someone better" speech, but I grabbed her wrist and asked how long we dated. In those 3 short months, I bought you a phone, a laptop, and a gold bracelet. Exactly. Her face went sour real fast. Why bring that up? You want it all back? That is so pathetic. She didn't even finish the word pathetic, because I snatched that gold bracelet right off her wrist. Insane? Maybe. But trust me, you and I are gonna love my new plan. Stick with me here. I walked out of that restaurant, ignoring her yelling about me crawling back. Honey, in exactly 4 hours, everyone will be crawling. First stop pawn shop, selling the gold bracelet for cash. Next up, I traded in all my electronics, phone, laptop, every single device. In the apocalypse, an offline phone is worth less than a rock. At least you can throw a rock. Total haul, 60,000 yuan. Honestly, not bad for a broke orphan. Second stop, the city's top military outdoor gear shop. I went full action hero mode. Tactical jacket, tough cargo pants, thick leather boots. 40,000 yuan. Yes, I bought their most expensive gear. Why? Because when the system teleports, the only real-world items you keep are the clothes right on your back. So you know I'm rocking elite gear. No cheap discount bin apocalypse outfit for me. Thank you very much. The remaining cash bought a bullet train ticket straight to the Forbidden City. But here is the massive problem. The main hall closes at 5 p.m. Normal visiting hours are over. But who said anything about visiting normally? The clock was seriously ticking. Streets were packed with people shopping, laughing, and living their carefree little lives. Now pay attention. Nobody knew the world was ending. Sun shining, traffic flowing perfectly. Everything looked totally fine. Absolute fools. Including my past self. I stepped off the train and immediately snuck into the restricted zone like I had done it 1,000 times, which I definitely had not. But desperation is a truly fantastic teacher. 5:50 p.m. The sky was getting dark. Unnaturally dark, like the universe was dimming the lights before a massive show. Funny, my last time around, I totally missed this. I was too busy being a lovesick fool. 6:20 p.m. The Great Hall of Supreme Harmony stood before me. I pushed open the doors and stepped in. Dark, completely empty, heavy. The air itself felt like it was holding its breath. And there it was, resting on top of 7 stone steps, like it had been waiting for me personally. The golden dragon throne, bronze cranes, and ancient incense holders. All the imperial furniture just chilling in the shadows for 6 centuries. I walked right up those steps, turned around, and sat my reborn, revenge-ready self right on that epic throne. 7 p.m. on the dot. Boom. Not an explosion, more like reality itself. Vibrating a hum so incredibly deep it rattled my bones. System text flooded my vision like the world's most dramatic pop-up ad. Global announcement. The survival trial has officially begun. All living units will now be bound to their designated groups. Then my personal stats popped up. Survival ID, name, vehicle assignment. A tiny little minivan, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. But then came the talent scan. I felt an intense, invisible wave sweep through my body, through the throne beneath me, the Grand Hall, and the entire Forbidden City. The system started analyzing the Imperial Power Center. 9 province artifacts, the Emperor's throne, 10,000 nation tributes, and the aura of 24 emperors. Then it crashed. The readout turned into pure glitchy gibberish, followed by a system analysis. Irreplaceable national destiny energy field attempting to fully adapt. We both felt that panic, right? Adaptation failed. My heart dropped. I risked absolutely everything to sit on this chair, and the system calls me unworthy. But then initiating special evolution, generating talent. The legendary throne erupted. Golden light blasted out like a glowing river of liquid sun. Thick purple energy came flooding from every single pillar, painted ceiling tile, and crack in the ancient floor. 600 years of coronations, royal decrees, and imperial destiny slammed into the chair, funneling straight into me. My past life's awakening felt like an absolute joke compared to this moment. This time, a full-blown cinematic masterpiece directed by the ancient ghosts of 24 mighty emperors. The system text flickered, wildly, glitched, scrambled completely, and finally locked in. Talent successfully generated. Rank SSS, Grand Perceptor, sitting on the dragon throne, absorbing royal energy, crushing and devouring all negative energy, like dark spirits, deadly curses, and pure resentment. It massively boosts my physical strength, letting me actively absorb dark energy to upgrade my survival stats. Rank SSS, Red Phoenix Fate Seat. Because I sat here, Astini is now completely tangled with legendary Imperial Karma. Like an Emperor's 3,000 companions, anyone making an emotional connection with me gets officially tagged as a Red Phoenix. Every single survival reward they earn, mission loot, treasure chests, talent bonuses, all of it gets doubled and sent straight to me. And the deeper the emotional connection, the higher the multiplier, maxing at 10,000 times. Only catch, if a Red Phoenix starts hating me, the bond shatters. 2 SSS rank talents. One turns me into a dark energy vacuum, getting stronger just by devouring bad vibes. The second makes my admirers an automatic loot farm. So what do you and I take from this? I'm about to rule from history's absolute greatest throne. Stick with me here. For the first time since reviving, I honestly wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. That cheap key gave basic theft. But this epic dragon throne? Yeah, I definitely made the right call. 2 SSS ranked talents. 2 of them. I seriously needed a minute. In my entire past life, the strongest fighter I ever saw was only S rank. And the strongest I even heard rumors about, SS rank. Yet here I am, chilling on the most legendary chair in Chinese history, holding double SSS skills like a supermarket. Buy one get one deal. Let me break it down. First up, Grand Perceptor Vessel. Basically, I eat evil energy for breakfast. Zombies, ghosts, cursed spirits, all the nasty stuff that eliminates people. That is literally my daily protein shake. So, the more dark energy I absorb, the more powerful I become. Last life, those things were pure nightmares. This time, totally tasty snacks. I pulled up my stats and almost choked. A normal adult guy averages a solid 10 in every single category. Last life, I was a perfect 10 everywhere. And not in a cool way, just painfully average. But this time, my constitution hit 100. 10 times a normal guy. We aren't talking basic street fight. Strong. I could absolutely knock out a heavyweight champion in 3 seconds. Actually, scratch that champion idea. Too easy. I am basically the Hulk now. Crushing a regular foe is like squishing a very confused chicken. Now, the second talent. Red Phoenix Fate Seat. This one is totally wild. Now watch closely. Sitting on that throne tangled my destiny with Imperial Karma. You know how historical emperors had around 3,000 concubines? Well now, a girl who forms a real emotional bond with me instantly becomes a Red Phoenix. And every survival reward she earns loot, treasure chests, bonuses. Literally everything gets multiplied and sent straight to me. Deeper bond, higher multiplier, maxing out at 10,000 times. I basically turned feelings into an infinite loot printer. One rule, if a Red Phoenix starts hating my guts, the link completely shatters. So, just do not be a jerk. Simple enough for the new me. Old me would have definitely found a way to completely mess that up. I was still sitting there on the legendary dragon throne, brain buzzing like a broken power line, when smack, something hit the back of my skull like an invisible baseball bat. Everything faded to black. Turns out, it was not personal at all. Every single person on Earth got knocked out at the exact same moment. Equal opportunity knockout. So incredibly fair. Next thing I know, clank, clank, clank. Blinding sunlight and the harsh smell of gasoline hit me. I was sitting in a beat-up minivan with torn seats, rattling down an endless highway, cutting through the most depressing wasteland imaginable. No trees, no buildings, just cracked dirt, dead grass, and a road stretching straight into forever. A few hundred meters ahead, I spotted the back of a large bus, cruising along at our exact same speed. Then the panicked voices started. Where are we? I was just in the library. My phone has absolutely zero signal. Not even one bar. Why are you guys here? I was eating in the cafeteria, and then this super creepy voice. I looked around. My stomach instantly dropped. Everyone here was from my class, not the debate club. This time, the system matched me with my class instead of my club. That means I can't immediately deal with Jiang Zuan and her crazy 57 boyfriends. Super annoying. But since we are all from the exact same college, our vehicles cannot be far apart. I will track them down eventually. I know what you're thinking. When I find them, oh, I have big plans. Anyway, who is in my minivan? Let me paint the scene. Seat 1 right beside me. Jianghua, class monitor. The kind of pretty that simply makes other girls quietly furious. Rocking an oversized white shirt that made it look like she totally forgot pants. She didn't. There were denim shorts hiding under there somewhere. I had never really talked to her before. Honestly, I hadn't really talked to anyone in class before. I was way too busy being Li Minggao's personal walking ATM. Behind us, Jiang Zahio and Deng Yusen, the ultimate power couple. They've been together since high school, got into the same college, and posted couple content so aggressively I muted Deng Yusen on social media months ago. He was tall and super cheerful. She wore a JK uniform with massive, sparkly eyes, basically rocking the exact personality of an energetic golden retriever. Back row, Lai Mingga and her annoying bestie, Wang Mingming. Lai Mingyao was still wearing that exact skirt and knit vest from our brutal breakup dinner. Still pretty, still only interested in wallets. And Wang Mingming, the mastermind who engineered our breakup, sitting there with her fake, innocent baby face like she did nothing wrong. Those two were clinging to each other, staring out the window, completely buffering. So, here's the official seating chart for my chaotic apocalypse minivan. Row 1, hot class monitor and me. Row 2, Instagram couple. Row 3, my gold-digging ex and the girl who ruined my entire relationship. 6 people, 1 seriously crappy van, and 0 drivers. Oh yeah, Jianghua found the driver's seat totally empty. The van drove itself. She panicked. But trust me, you and I are ready for this madness. I mostly noticed her shorts. Then the system announcement dropped. Survival mode is active. Vehicle minivan E9, 2, 3. Stick with me. You and I are jumping right into a wild academy survival game. Stage 1, totally safe. The rules are simple. Stop at stations, get off at stations. Leave early, you are completely wiped out. After the next stop, passengers drive using their talents. No eliminating each other inside. The mission is super basic. Stay alive. Survive the madness. So reassuring, right? Total chill vibes. So there I was. Reborn. Absolutely jacked. Holding dual SSS rank. Stuck in a busted minivan with my ex, her shady bestie, couple I ignored online, and our class monitor. The endless doomsday highway stretched right in front of us. Honestly, compared to my previous life, this was a massive upgrade. I listened to the system closely. Exact same script as before, only difference, new vehicle, totally different group of people. Last time, I was stuck on a bus with 28 backstabbing debaters. Today, just a crappy minivan with 6 classmates. Smaller group. Huge win for not wanting to battle everyone. Plus, I already knew these vehicles could easily be upgraded. Right now, we are a tiny squad at the absolute bottom tier. Soon, we level up to class, maybe academy. In my past run, I never saw a vehicle holding over 100 people. Basically a train. Now pay attention here, because this is where everything flips. My performance class has 24 students total. Only 5 guys. Normally, terrible odds, but for someone who just awakened the Red Phoenix, fate, not a single problem. It is an absolute buffet. Any girl who likes me becomes a loot multiplier. And I attend a film academy. These are not your average classmates. These are future stars. If I play this smart, I will be swimming in gear by week 1. First, I gotta handle the circus. Jean Zahio was totally losing it, yanking the van door. This is insane. This is not some silly prank. Jiang Wanu grabbed him fast. Chill out. Look outside. Does that look familiar to you at all? His girlfriend, Deng Yusen, pulled his arm. Babe, please do not be reckless. He swore and sat back down, spooked. You are in the performance department, buddy. You should handle drama. Then Jiang Wana stepped right up. Classic class monitor. Move. We are a team. Let us share our talents. She volunteered first. When things went down, I was drinking water. Boom. A rank talent. Pure water. 50 bottles a day. Jean Zahio scoffed hard. Water? That is your power? Super lame. I really wanted to slap him. Resource talents are practically legendary. Last life, my bus held 28 people, and only one had a resource skill. 50 daily bottles of water could easily keep 20 people hydrated without breaking a single sweat. When highway trading starts, Jiang Wanu would become the absolute hottest commodity out there. Every single squad would fight for her. And this fool said it was lame? Jin Zahio puffed his chest. Also a rank. I was fishing. Got the big fish. Struggle. Boosts my raw strength. Deng Yusen hugged him like he won gold. Wow. You're so strong, babe. He blushed hard. Easiest ego boost ever. Then Deng Yusen bounced. Good news. I am a rank 2. I can summon crayfish. Half a pound each time. Wait. What? You and I both know how crazy that is, right? 2 resource talents in one tiny minivan. Did my rebirth cause some wild butterfly effect to juice everyone up? No, that makes 0 sense. So, let me get this straight. We have endless water and crayfish. Honestly, we could literally just breeze through these early stages doing absolutely nothing. This busted van is basically a mobile seafood buffet now. Shinyu, you look super pale. Are you okay? Jiang Wanu smiled gently, sunlight reflecting off her hair. Please do not worry. We are a team. At least my talent means nobody stays thirsty here. Deng Yusen smiled brightly. I can make you crayfish too. Jin Zahio instantly yanked her arm back. Hey. Your crayfish supply is not infinite. We do not know how long this lasts. Possessive much? Dude. Chill. I do not want your girlfriend or her crustaceans. Honestly, I wasn't scared. I was just deep in thought. But apparently my thinking face looks exactly like pure terror. Because everyone kept treating me like a helpless baby deer. Then Li Mingao spoke up. My talent is B-rank crude disguise. This apocalypse started during my makeup. Senior Jiang Tianxian invited me to a movie. She aimed that directly at me like a dagger. See, I already moved on. Do not even think about getting back together, girl. So what do you and I make of this? I robbed her 4 hours ago. Message received. Deng Yusen just blinked. Wait, aren't you and Shinyu dating? Lie. Mingao waves her hands frantically. We broke up forever ago. Don't get ideas. Let's dive in, guys. Wang Mingming, the breakup master herself, jumps in. You have no idea. He took back every single gift. He just snatched them all back. Everyone stares at me like I am heartless. Look, in about 3 days, when the food runs completely dry and panic sets in, nobody is going to care about stupid gift etiquette. But sure, judge me now. Get it out of your systems. Jiang Wanyua cuts right through the gossip. Enough. Not the time. Shinyu, what are your talents? Wang Mingming looks super embarrassed. Mine? Precise mental timekeeping. Always accurate. I can count time perfectly in my head. Pure, beautiful, agonizing silence. Suddenly, everyone else feels so much better about their own powers. Then it is finally my turn. Obviously, I cannot reveal my absolute true abilities here. Dual triple S rank, Grand Perceptor Vessel, and Red Phoenix Fate. In a wild survival game, showing your full hand gets you backstabbed in your sleep, or completely played by fakes who smile while taking you down. Been there, done that, got the exact physical scar. So I keep it super simple. Actually, talent is S rank. Pure dead silence. Jin Zahio shakes his head. Come on, dude. Do not show off now. It is totally fine if your power absolutely sucks. You were literally shaking. Wang Mingming jumps right in. Yeah, Shinyu, stop acting so incredibly tough. Lai Mingao sighs like a deeply disappointed teacher. You really do not need to pretend you have good powers. They all judged me. They looked at a guy sitting calmly, with perfect posture and a heartbeat of 60, deciding I was the scared one. The guy with 100 constitution who could literally rip this van in half. Now watch this. The guy with 2 triple S rank talents needs their comfort. I just let all their little reactions fully sink in. The doubt, pity, and heavy condescension. Then I reply super calmly, I was never scared. The reason for my look is extremely simple. My actual power lets me see the future. The van goes perfectly quiet after my little bomb drops. Li Mingao sighs like an exhausted kindergarten teacher. Shinyu, I get it. Breakups hurt, but making up crazy lies will not help anyone. Let us talk about practical things. Jiang Zahio snorts loudly. See the future, bro? You read too many web novels. Dang. Yen tugs her boyfriend's sleeve. Do not be mean, Zahe. Mean? He is talking pure nonsense. Ding Yusen bites her lip. He is our classmate. Go easy on him. That tiny moment of sweet kindness from Ding Yusen towards me? You could literally see a thick vein pop on Jiang Zahio's forehead. His girl defends another dude for half a second, and his whole brain totally short circuits. He grabs her wrist, whispering angrily, "I am your boyfriend. Remember exactly who protects you out here." Deng Yusin's face freezes. She gets a sneak preview of her sweet high school boyfriend under real pressure. Spoiler alert, it is not great. Meanwhile, Jiang Wanyua quietly tugs my sleeve. "Shinyu, what can you see, smart girl?" While absolutely everyone else is busy calling me crazy, she gathers intel. "I know what you are thinking. Future vision sounds absolutely insane, right? But that is the entire point. I do not actually have future vision. I have something way better. I already lived through all this. But I cannot just say, 'Hey guys, I am a time traveler who got brutally betrayed by his ex.' That is a much harder sell than prophecy. Last life, I made the massive mistake of being completely honest. Shared my resources, told all my secrets, played the selfless hero. And my grand reward? Exploited, horribly guilt-tripped, and totally betrayed. So this time, strategic lying every single day. The pure beauty of my prophecy cover story is that I only need to predict very obvious things. Stuff I know will happen, and suddenly and easily the most valuable person in here. Leadership secured, trust earned. And if I ever need to kick someone off the team or redirect resources my way, the great prophet has spoken. I look at them calmly. Our first stop is an abandoned residential area. Jiango fires back instantly. "Are you blind? Look outside. It is nothing but wasteland. Not a single building in sight." Wang Mingming piles on. "Obviously, yeah, the system has not even announced anything yet. You are already making predictions. So fake." Jiang Wanyua shuts them down. "Enough. We will find out soon enough, will we not?" Jiang Zahio leans back with a smug face. "Fine, the monitor is right. But if he is lying, I am the only real man here, and I will not let it slide." "The only real man? Buddy, I'd flick your absolute forehead right now, and you would fly straight through that windshield. My constitution is literally 10 times yours. But sure, flex away." Wang Mingming swoons. "You are so brave, Zahio." He puffs up even more, giving a little heroic speech about how his rank power will completely protect everyone. Super noble, very heroic, but his eyes quickly drift from Wang Mingming to Jiang Wanyua, then slowly scan across all 4 girls in the van. "So what do you and I make of this?" Man has his girl perfectly beside him, yet already builds an apocalypse harem. Wild. "Come along with me, classy." Jiang Wan turned back. "Shinyu, are you sure? I just stared outside. We are almost there. Here's the secret from my past life. Every single transport vehicle always stops first at an abandoned neighborhood. Always. It is literally a tutorial level. Low danger, just some basic monsters at night. The kind any normal adult could easily defeat if they stay calm. The entire point is giving everyone enough time to scavenge supplies for the long road ahead. The only real danger? Other passengers. Not every single group plays nice. Almost. Where? Jiang Zahio crossed his arms. Your fantasy land? Then Deng Yusin, who was quietly staring out the window, suddenly gasped. Guys, is that something up ahead? Everyone rushed to the glass. Right at the highway end, low blocky shapes were getting huge by the second. Crumbling walls, broken windows, rusty balcony railings, an abandoned housing complex. Exactly what I said. The van went completely silent. Wang Luming dropped his jaw. He actually has a real prophecy talent. Lai Mingao swallowed hard, staring at me like I grew a second head. Jiang Zahio sat up straight, pupils shrinking. No way, I am a rank and cannot do anything like that. How does he? Dang, Yen squealed. It is exactly what he said. A run-down neighborhood. Jiang Wanyua covered her mouth, eyes shining. Shinyu, you really can see the future. I gave them a cool nod. Obviously, I never waste time lying. Everyone get ready to move. System chimed on cue. Arrived. Abandoned residential zone 7. Status temporarily safe. Time limit 43,200 seconds. That is 12 hours. Mission, collect supplies. Free exploration. No limits on who steps off. Backpack space unlocked. 30 shared slots. 10 personal slots. 100 items per slot. The van creaked to a stop. Doors slid open. A wave of musty, rotten air punched us all right in the face. Outside, a cluster of ugly, gray 6-story apartment buildings. Most windows shattered. Balconies piled high with mysterious junk under the dim, heavy sky. The whole place basically screamed that monsters were waiting. Jiang Zahio jumped out first, trying to look tough. 12 hours. So we are spending the night in this dump. Ding Yusen stuck to his arm like a koala. Lai Ming Yao and Wang Mingming exchanged very nervous looks, and then climbed out reluctantly. Jiang Wanu was last to stand. She looked back at me, still sitting very comfortably in my seat. You are not coming? Oh, I was coming. I just wanted to enjoy watching everyone scramble for exactly 3 more seconds. A prophet needs to make an entrance. I smiled and hopped off the van. Of course, I am coming. Now, pay attention. This gets interesting. I said searching together is too slow. Everyone stared. We should split into groups. Me and the class monitor, Lai Ming Yao and Wang Mingming. The lovebirds together. Wang Mingming totally exploded first. Excuse me, you're putting both guys in different groups and leaving us girls alone? Li Minggao quickly backed her up. Are you seriously being this petty just because I dumped you? We are classmates. Jiang Wanyua also gently chimed in. Chin Yu. 2 girls alone is kind of risky. I rubbed my chin and gave them my absolute most pitying look. Fine. You two can join Jin Zahio's group. Lai Ming Yao and Wang Mingming blinked hard. Wait, what? I never wanted them on my team at all. Not even as extra hands. They were confused, offended, and possibly hurt. Good. I nodded at them. Every group has a guy now. Happy? Go find stuff. Good luck staying safe out there. Then I turned to leave. But right before turning I let my eyes land on Jiang Zahio. Now, I never planned this. It just happened naturally. The look I gave him was like looking at a man who was already completely doomed. You and I both know this type, right? Because honestly, in my past life, I had seen plenty of arrogant people exactly like him. Arrogant, possessive, thinking muscles solve everything. Those guys never last long on the survival road. Jin Zahio caught the look and completely lost it. What was that look? Should you not say it to my face? I was already walking away. It is just group assignments, man. Nothing deep. Hope everyone makes it. Good luck out there. Those final words came out calm, flat, almost bored. And that is exactly what made them terrifying. Because everyone remembered, I can see the future. So when the prophet looks at you like your game is already completely over and then says, good luck. Staying safe out there. Yeah, that definitely tends to ruin your afternoon. Jiang Hua caught up to me after smoothing things over with the others. She just told them I was bad with words. Do not worry about it. She talked to me about being less creepy. Good cover. I really appreciated that. Behind us, I could practically hear the huge meltdown happening. Wang Mingming spat on the ground. He is just trying to scare us. Don't fall for it, Minga. Li Minga nodded, but her eyes clearly said otherwise. Jiang Zahi took a deep breath, forced himself to look super tough, and declared, let's go find supplies. He marched forward like a general leading troops into battle, and then quickly realized nobody was following him. All 3 girls stood still, staring where I walked. Trust me, we know who is boss now. His expression turned dark. What in the world? Lai Minggao chewed her lip nervously. Maybe we should just ask Chunyu. He actually seems to know something. Wang Mingming tried looking totally chill, but her eyes screamed pure panic. Ding Yusen too. She stepped up, grabbing Jin Zahio's arm. Babe, let's just follow Chunyu's lead here. Not that I doubt you, but sticking together beats wandering around completely blind, right? He is literally our classmate. He wouldn't let us perish. Jin Zahio yanked his arm away. So, you think I'm completely finished? You trust some random guy over your own boyfriend? Deng Yin stayed quiet, but here's exactly what she secretly thought. Stick with me here. We know this because everyone in our van literally studies acting for a living. We can spot genuine feelings versus fake ones instantly. That exact look I gave Jin Zahio? Definitely not acting at all. Everyone totally knew it. I have 0 acting skills whatsoever. Always have. I am the absolute worst performer overall. Meaning my absolute certainty, that chilling game over stare, was completely genuine. Honestly, that terrified them way more than any monster ever could. Meanwhile, I was enjoying a perfectly lovely stroll through the abandoned neighborhood. Cracked concrete roads, withered trees, silent apartment buildings, empty clotheslines, faded drawings on walls with 0 children, and wilted plants sitting inside pots on lonely windowsills. Everything looked insanely real. Slippers by the doorstep, faded curtains. But it just could not be real. 2 lives down, and I still didn't understand what these weird stations actually were. Dimensional projections, time fragments, some cosmic dollhouse. Absolutely no clue. Jiang Wonyua suddenly caught up, waving her hand right in front of my face. Earth to Chunyu. What are you staring at? Nothing at all. Let's hit the supermarket first, then go check the apartments. Priorities. She pointed down the street. There is a convenience store right there. We walked over, finding the glass doors chained shut by a massive black padlock. Jiang Wonyua aggressively rattled the handle, locked up tight. Now, what do we do? Break the glass? I squinted at the lock. Standard crosscore model. Solid anti-pick design, but absolutely nothing a true professional cannot handle. She stared blankly at me. I wasn't suggesting we pick it. I meant smash the glass. Terrible idea. Now pay attention. The station says we're temporarily safe, but noise attracts things. You and I definitely wouldn't want to meet. Okay, valid point. But we completely lack a professional lockpicker. Actually, I held out my hand, palm up. We totally do. Give me your hair clip. She froze, her hand drifting to her hair. You know how to pick locks? I didn't explain, just kept my hand out and patiently waited. Hesitantly, she pulled out a flat hair clip, placing it into my palm. It was still warm, smelling faintly of her shampoo. I snapped it in half, pocketing one piece, bending a tiny hook into the other. Smooth, fast, zero hesitation, like I'd done this 10,000 times. Because honestly, in my past life, every station had locked doors. After a few dozen stops, everyone learned lockpicking. It became survival school's absolutely most popular elective. Right after avoiding monsters and advanced, sprinting away, I crouched down, slid the hook right into the keyhole, and 10 seconds later, click. The padlock instantly popped open. Jiang Wanyua was staring at me like I just performed a magic trick, which honestly, I totally kind of did. Picking padlocks with the hair clip isn't exactly normal college sophomore behavior. How do you even know how to do that? She asked. I pocketed the clip pieces, picked it up from someone vague. Perfect excuse. Moving on. Then she squinted. Wait, is that why you wanted me on your team? Just for my hair clip? I pushed the door open and glanced back. That is one reason. But the main truth is, out of everyone on that van, you are my favorite. Her face turned completely tomato red. We've all been there, right? Now, did I mean that romantically, strategically, or as a totally genuine compliment? Honestly, I wasn't even sure myself. I simply walked into the supermarket and started scanning shelves without ever looking back. I had canned goods to collect and exactly zero time for feelings. Behind me, Jiang Wanyua stood frozen for about 5 seconds, then shook her head and muttered something about overthinking it. Very smart girl. Emotionally confused girl, sure, but incredibly smart. I was loading canned goods into my backpack space when I heard loud noises outside. Jiang Wanyua quickly ducked behind the doorframe and peeked out. Then came the circus. Jin Zahio came sprinting down the street, pale as a ghost, hair completely wrecked, looking like he faced actual doom. Behind him, 3 panicked girls. Ding Yusin was practically crying. Lai Minggao and Wang Mingming looked like they had just aged 10 years in 20 minutes. Quick! Hide! This place is absolutely insane, Ding Yusin whimpered. Can we please just go find Chunyu? He might know. Shut up, Jin Zahio snapped. That guy only talks big. If he saw that beast, he would totally panic. Oh, buddy. So what do you and I make of this? I could easily snap that monster like a breadstick. Keep playing the fake hero. Lai Minggao spotted Jiang Wanyua. First, class monitor. Where is Chunyu? We need to ask him something. Let's dive right back into this wild survival world. Jiang Hua waves them over. He is inside. What happened? Ding Yusin is still shaking. We broke a store window and something came. Jiang Zahio puffs up his chest. Zombies. Horrifying monsters with mouths as big as buckets. Mouths like buckets? Okay, Shakespeare. Those are the weakest trash enemies on this entire survival road. A calm adult could literally beat one with a chair leg. But sure, bucket mouth. Super scary. Li Minga nods eagerly. You guys were so incredibly lucky finding an open store. Actually, Chinu picked the lock. Dead silence. What? Lai Ming Yao and Wang Mingming stare like reality just broke. Dang. Yusin stutters about his crazy skills. Jiang Zahio just scoffs bitterly. See, I completely knew that guy was not as innocent as he looks. Yeah, the lockpicker is suspicious. but the coward who ditched 3 girls to run from a beginner zombie is super trustworthy. Absolute genius. Logic. Everyone rushes into the supermarket. They find me completely chill, tossing cans into my inventory like a casual Sunday grocery trip. Shen Wu. 3 girls shout my name perfectly in sync, just like a chorus. They probably do not even realize it. You feel that shift, right? Suddenly, the quiet outcast who never spoke just became the one person everyone actually wants. It feels incredible, honestly. I smile right back at them. How did the scavenging go? Jiang Zahio completely blows up. Scavenging? There are literal zombies out there. Terrifying monsters. I just tilt my head innocently. But wait, did you not claim to be a top-tier fighting talent? Ready to protect everyone? You cannot handle one tiny zombie? His face turns completely bright red. Nobody could ever beat that thing, man. Honestly, I could defeat it by just sneezing. My constitution is 100. That zombie is practically a toy. Ding. Yusen jumps in defensively. It is not his fault, Shinyu. That zombie was terrifying. We absolutely cannot fight it directly. I stay completely neutral. Jin Zahio is clearly exaggerating the threat just to hide the fact that he ran away like a complete coward. Honestly, I totally get it. My very first time seeing a monster in my past life, I was equally pathetic. Then, the system announcement drops. Zone 7 status changed to abnormal. Low threat units powered up. Medium threat units now spawning. Duration 21,600 seconds. Stay alive. 6 hours of danger. Absolute dead silence. The sky outside turns pitch black. Everyone looks completely horrified. Jin Zahio goes totally pale. So those zombies were just the start of this abnormal event. This survival road is crazy. He speaks, but Jiang Wanyua quickly cuts him off. Shinyu, what do we do? Everyone turns to look. All eyes on me. Jiang Zahio clenches his jaw so hard it might shatter. I can easily read his mind. He is the supposed fighter. Watch closely here. The fake leader realizes he just lost his entire audience of admiring girls. And now, some skinny, quiet kid with a crazy prophecy talent steals the entire spotlight without throwing a single punch. I can see the crazy math happening behind his eyes. He thinks, if this guy disappears, I am right back on top. So cute. Try it, buddy. I take charge. Nobody leaves this supermarket. Push every shelf, every counter, and every heavy object against the doors. Barricade absolutely everything. The girls jump into action immediately. 0 questions asked. Jiang Zahio grumbles bitterly. Sure. Whatever. Stop playing your silly little mind games, Shinyu. I smile silently. Mind games? Me? I am the most honest person in this group. I just magically happen to know absolutely everything coming next. Once the heavy barricades are up, I organize our supplies. Okay, everyone listen. The shared backpack has 30 slots. I will manage those. For your personal 10 slots, pack exactly this. I point ahead. 1 slot chocolate, canned meat, bandages, and clothing. The rest is completely flexible, but leave exactly 3 of your slots empty. I point at the other girls. Each of you takes dry rations, fresh water, little tools, disinfectant tablets, and your basic daily survival supplies. Leave 2 slots empty. I stare at him dismissively. Whatever, do what you want. That tiny pause is absolutely the most devastating and humiliating moment of his life. Every girl gets detailed instructions, personalized survival kits, and careful planning. But for him, just a solid whatever. His face cycles through pure confusion, sudden realization, and volcanic rage in 2 seconds. Absolutely beautiful. Shinyu, what the heck does whatever even mean? He is fully losing it. Veins popping, face bright red. The entire package. You gave all for girls detailed instructions. Chocolate here, bandages there. You are definitely targeting me. Trust me, you and I will love watching his epic meltdown next. Alright, stick with me here. He was screaming that I was making his supplies look useless, since he was doomed anyway. Which, okay, I definitely was thinking that, but I absolutely never said it out loud. The real magic of mind games is letting people assume things. Deng Yusen tried grabbing him, saying, Zahio, calm down. He shoved her hand away so aggressively that she literally stumbled. Her eyes instantly welled up. Great job there, tough guy. Nothing says hero like pushing your sweet girlfriend in front of 4 witnesses. Lai Mingao squeaked out. Hey, we are teammates. Please just calm down. Wang Mingming started to speak, saw his wild eyes, and quickly hid behind Lai Minga like a shield. Jiang Hua used her class monitor authority and told everyone to chill. As for me, I never turned around, stayed totally silent, ignored him completely, and just kept sorting my cans. Best moment ever. The less I actually reacted, the crazier he appeared. He was screaming at a guy peacefully organizing some canned meat. You cannot look like a cool hero having a tantrum at someone's back while they casually stack up the groceries. Ding Yusen finally stepped in, shaking. Please stop yelling. I am scared. That quickly shut him up. You and I both know Zhang Zahi is not dumb enough to keep raging while his girlfriend cries. But wow, I could totally feel his angry glare burning my skull. Perfect. Stay mad. Stay distracted. Stay predictable. We spent the next minutes loading up our inventories. The funny problem was, this tiny convenience store only had shelf stock. Every backpack slot fits 100 identical things. Good luck finding 100 of literally anything in this tiny shop. We grabbed whatever we could find and finished up. 5 hours until the weird status fades, Jiang Wan calculated. That puts us near 3 a.m. then. Deng Yusen pointed toward the back of the little store. There are 2 rooms upstairs. If we are resting, we must figure out sleeping arrangements now. Oh boy, here we go. Jiang Zahio moved instantly, throwing his arm over Deng Yin's shoulder, smooth as ever. Well, we are a couple, so we get 1 room. No objections, right? Wang Mingming instantly fired right back. So, all 4 of us crammed together? Jiang Zahio just shrugged with this super smug grin. Did you not come back to find Xinyu? What is wrong with sharing a room with him? Very smooth attempt at stirring up drama there, Romeo. Sadly for him, everybody saw through it. Lai Mingao frowned deeply. This is not about Xinyu. 4 people in 1 room is cramped. Even Deng Yusen looked super unsure. Babe, just the 2 of us inside a room is kind of. I could literally see his brain working overtime. See, what he truly wanted was some alone time with Deng Yusen. They dated 3 years, but she kept a strict no-touching rule until marriage. Nothing at all. And now, stuck inside an apocalypse with emotions flying super high. He really thought this was his magical chance to cross the line. Classy, right? The world is ending, and his main focus is scoring. I know you are judging him too, but nobody agreed. Jiang Hua completely refused the couple idea. Lai Mingao grabbed Jin Wanyua's arm and pulled her away. 3 girls, 1 single room. Boom. Done. Leaving who? Me. Placed in the couple's room alongside Jiang Zahi and Deng Yusen. Jiang Zahi totally panicked. You want Chen Wu inside here? Wang Mingming just shrugged. What? You want him sleeping in the hallway with those zombies? Jiang Wanu delivered the final knockout punch. We are classmates. We are fully dressed. We take turns watching. What exactly is the big issue here? Unless your own mind is wandering somewhere totally inappropriate. Jiang Zahio opened his mouth, closed it, and reopened it. Absolutely nothing came out. The class monitor totally checkmated him, and any clever comeback would just make him look incredibly creepy. Then Deng Yusen gently pulled his sleeve. She stared up with big watery eyes, nose still pink from crying, trying her best to smile bravely. Let Shinui stay with us. I actually feel much safer with him around because of that future-seeing power. That desperate little save right at the end was so adorable. I feel safe around another guy. Wait, no. Only because of his awesome talent. That talent made Jiang Zahio finally cave. Fine. So there it was. Me. A totally single guy, happily assigned to the couple's bedroom. Life is hilarious. Through this whole ridiculous housing debate, I never said a single word. Did not need to. They organized everything perfectly without me. But I totally had one final announcement. Night watch duties. Deng Yusen first, then Jiang Zahio, Wang Ming Yao, and Jiang Hua. 1 hour each. 5 hours total. 5 people. Jiang Zahio's eye twitched. Hold on. That list does not include you. I smiled warmly. 5 people is plenty. Then why do you get to sleep? I just shrugged. Because I need rest so I can foresee the future. It is exhausting work. Want to swap? You predict the future. I will gladly stand guard. Total silence. He was completely trapped. Believe me, if he dared to complain, those girls would have absolutely destroyed him. Alright, stick with me here. Even the canned goods felt the tension. He sat down quietly, but pure anger absolutely radiated off him. The scheming, the simmering rage, the absolute certainty he was going to teach me a lesson. Bad vibes pouring off him like cheap cologne. Buddy survived the whole apocalypse already. I was crossed by guys way smarter and way more dangerous than you. You are a college kid with the fishing skill who ran screaming from a tutorial zombie. But sure, try something tonight. See what happens when you cross a guy with 10 times your strength. A guy who already knows your moves before you even make them. I closed my eyes and got comfy. Tomorrow would be fun. The upstairs had 2 rooms connected by a narrow hallway. Jiang Zahi charged in first, claiming the left room like he was planting a flag on the moon. Whatever, dude. I took the other without complaint. Pushed open the creaky door. Honestly, not bad. A double bed, a nightstand with a broken alarm clock, and miracle of miracles, a private bathroom. No water or electricity, but hey, real walls and a door. In this new world, that is basically a 5-star hotel. Jiang Zahio took Deng Yusen downstairs for her guard shift, leaving me alone with an entire double bed. Pure luxury, but no sleep yet. My second Triple S talent, Red Phoenix Fate Seed, still had not tagged a single person. 0 activations so far. The girl started relying on me after my prophecy trick, sure, but that triggered nothing. So, what actually counted as a real emotional connection? Was it not about feelings at all? Something else completely? Only one way to find out. Test absolutely everything. I closed my eyes and waited. Downstairs, the night dragged. Deng Yusen survived her guard duty in total fear, jumping at every tiny sound. Meanwhile, Jiang Zahio slept through his entire shift like a total log, snoring loudly. Supportive boyfriend of the year. When she finally woke him, the poor girl was so incredibly drained she could not fall asleep. She had been awake for nearly 20 hours straight, running on pure adrenaline and absolute panic. She curled up next to cardboard boxes, eyes tightly closed, her body twitching every few seconds. Jiang Zahio watched her struggle, sighing. Just stay up 1 more hour with me, babe. Then we will sleep upstairs. She nodded obediently, but her exhausted head kept drooping like a frail flower in a windstorm. Then Jiang Wanui came downstairs, unable to sleep, and saw Deng Yusen struggling. She pointed up. Girl, go sleep in a real bed. There is an actual mattress upstairs. Why torture yourself next to cardboard boxes? Deng Yusen blinked groggily. But Zahio, I am fine down here, she mumbled. He wanted her to rest, but then remembered who was currently occupying that bedroom. Me. His face immediately did that funny thing where 6 different emotions cycled in 2 seconds. He turned to Jiang Wanui. Class monitor. May you take over and I go up with her? But Deng Yusen was already stumbling up. No, let us follow the schedule. I will just nap for a bit. Wait for you up there. She was so exhausted she could barely walk. Jiang Zahio watched her wobble upstairs, punched the floor in pure frustration, and let her go. Watch closely. This gets wild. I was lying in bed, minding my own business, when the door suddenly creaked open. A slim figure stumbled inside, kicked off her shoes, eyes practically glued shut, mumbling Zahio in a complete daze. It was Deng Yusen, and her exhausted brain had entirely forgotten that I even existed in this room. In her foggy mind, this was her room, that was her bed, and the warm body under those covers was obviously her boyfriend. Simple math, completely wrong answer. She pulled back the blanket, crawled right in, and snuggled perfectly against me. Small bed, dark room, exhausted girl in her school uniform, operating entirely on pure muscle memory, desperately seeking warmth, and me, a 20-year-old guy who is definitely not her boyfriend, wide awake. She shifted in her sleep, making everything way more awkward. She shifted again. You probably see where this is going, right? Bam! My talent activated. Red Phoenix target identified. Deng Yusen. Phoenix number 1. Connection type subconscious safety entrustment. Connection depth level 1. Active multiplier, 10 times. Her talent? A rank crayfish summoning. Half a kilo per use. My return? 5 kilos per summon. I stared at the floating text, mind racing. This connection is not about romance. It is about her subconsciously trusting me for safety. Deep down, beneath the boyfriend loyalty, and all that social awkwardness, some primitive part of her brain already decided that I am the person who will protect her, and that was enough. Level 1 connection, 10 times multiplier. Every single time she summons half a kilo, I get 5 kilos. 5. That is 11 pounds of fresh seafood appearing from absolutely nowhere. Before, A scrap of meat was a miracle. Now, trust me, you and I are looking at an endless, magical seafood buffet. Stick with me, you and I are watching a true survival masterclass completely unfold. The connection type clearly showed subconscious safety and trust, meaning if Jin Zahyo looks completely useless while I keep her safe, our invisible bond gets stronger. And a stronger bond means a massively higher system multiplier, maxing at 10,000 times. A tiny summon could easily bring me 5,000 kilos of crayfish, 5 metric tons. I could open a franchise. Step 1 was completely finished. She was already peacefully sleeping right inside my arms. Step 2 was pure psychology. Naturally let Jin Zahyo continue totally disappointing her. Make her slowly realize exactly who the actual protector in this vehicle truly was. Zero forced manipulation, just pure competence on my end while he constantly fumbles. This guy was literally doing all my work for me. Honestly, every single time he angrily yelled, shoved her away, or prioritized his fragile ego above her safety, he was basically gift wrapping all her trust and proudly handing it to me. She mumbled softly in her sleep, pressing much closer. My first red phoenix, unlocked simply using a warm blanket and one terrible guy's total failure as a boyfriend. I stared at the dark ceiling, calculating intense crayfish logistics while my classmate's girlfriend unconsciously cuddled me like a giant body pillow. Typical survival road madness for everybody. Now pay attention. Here is where you and I see how deep this crazy rabbit hole goes. Deng Yusen slept comfortably in my arms while my brain went into full scientist mode. The mysterious system clearly stated emotional connection absolutely triggers this bond. But what kind exactly? Subconscious trust hit level 1 at a 10 times multiplier. Could I seriously push it way further? Only one way to know. I began testing the absolute boundaries. And I definitely was not acting like a gentleman about it. She stirred, mumbling for Zio to stop, totally thinking I was her boyfriend. Then her eyes snapped wide open, displaying absolute, pure horror, realizing whose arms actually held her. I could practically hear the hilarious system error sounds crashing inside her brain. She desperately tried screaming, but suddenly remembered her boyfriend and classmates were just outside. So she quickly clamped her own mouth completely shut. Brilliant survival instinct. Terrible situational awareness. Chinu, I didn't. I completely forgot you were here. I thought you were Jiang Zahyo. I casually finished it. You climbed up and crawled right into my arms. I did not move once. Technically true. Getting in bed was entirely her choice. What exactly happened after that? Let us skip those details. She squirmed wildly, desperately trying to escape, begging me to release her before anyone noticed. Watch closely. You and I know this trick. I played my ultimate card. I will let go. But Jiang Zahyo is totally finished. Today, while escaping that monster, violently scratched his left wrist. She panicked, crying that he simply cut himself on some sharp scrap metal instead. He completely lied. I flawlessly described the hidden wound with terrifying surgical precision, noting the blackened edges. He was guarding that left hand all day, totally avoiding using it. Everything was completely made up, obviously. Jin Zahyo probably just got a random scratch. Anyone naturally protects an injured hand, but I brilliantly dressed it up as a fatal monster infection. Diagnosis. Super convincing, totally fake. Ding Ein, absolutely could not tell. Exhausted and terrified, she stared at the guy who sees the future. When prophets speak, absolutely everyone listens, especially those running on zero sleep and pure maximum fear. He was terrified of being treated like a massive infection risk, I calmly explained. So he completely faked the metal. Excuse. He easily fooled everyone, but never me. Her eyes widened, instantly remembering my future vision powers. Obviously true. If I easily predicted that abandoned neighborhood and knew secret things nobody else knew, then obviously foresaw Jiang Zahyo's hidden infection too. He gets a massive fever by tomorrow, I smoothly continued. Then pure confusion sets in. Then he fully turns. Her tears broke like a shattered dam. She grabbed my shirt with both fists. You are incredibly powerful. You see the future. You definitely know how to save him. Please. He is our classmate, sharing this very van right now. I will do absolutely anything. I just let her cry. Perfect timing is everything. Tipping her chin up, I whispered I can save him, but there is a price. What price? You listen to me. I will genuinely listen. I promise. No, I slowly shook my head. Not that basic kind of listening, and definitely not words. Starting right now, you do exactly what I command, completely without question. Understand? My voice dropped dangerously low. If you cannot do that, start preparing for Jiang Zahio's final goodbye. I am not helping him for free. She bit her lip, tears streaming, pride completely crumbling. Okay, I will do what you say, Chinyu. Was I being a manipulative jerk? Absolutely. Was Jiang Zahio actually heavily infected? Not even slightly. Was I saving him from a fake disease for her absolute loyalty? You and I know how this game works. In my last life, I was the naive nice guy. I shared everything, trusted everyone, loved unconditionally, and perished totally alone, while my girlfriend counted her 57 conquests. This life, I play to win, but my epic victory celebration got instantly interrupted. Tap, tap, tap. Footsteps echoed up the stairs, getting closer. Jiang Zahio. Stick with me here, you, and I knew he wouldn't last 20 minutes without checking on his girl. Deng Yusen froze, her eyes going incredibly wide with absolute panic. She tried to scramble away, but I moved faster, hand over her mouth, arm tight around her waist, and I rolled us both right off that bed, and straight into the bathroom in one unbelievably smooth motion. Max Constitution makes you surprisingly acrobatic. The bedroom door slowly creaked open. Jiang Zahio stood right in that doorway, aggressively scanning the room. Empty bed, totally wrinkled sheets, obvious body impressions, but nobody there. His eyes narrowed sharply. Are you in here? Total silence. He stepped further inside. This room was seriously tiny. Nowhere to hide except the bathroom. Zero running water, no electricity, literally no reason for anybody to be hiding inside there. He marched up to the glass door and knocked loudly. You in there? Meanwhile, I was right on the other side, holding his girlfriend's mouth completely shut, her tears literally soaking my palm. Both of us pressed hard against the cold tile wall in pitch darkness. Best roommate situation ever. From inside the dark bathroom, I could hear Deng Yusen trying her absolute hardest to sound totally normal. Bless her heart, she was completely terrible at it. I am in here, Zahio. Her voice literally sounded like someone running a full marathon while sobbing. Jiang Zahio noticed immediately. Why do you sound so weird? What exactly are you doing in a bathroom with zero water or electricity? I really had to use the bathroom. Couldn't hold it. He actually bought it, barely. Oh, okay. But are you sure you're alright? You sound off. I'm completely fine. Just tired. It's dark in here. Don't ask. I'll be out soon. Every single answer she gave was way more suspicious than the last. The more she stammered, the more incredibly uneasy he became. He scanned the empty room, the totally messy bed. Then it clicked. Wait, where's Chunyu? He isn't here either. No, he wasn't here when I came upstairs. Maybe he went to the other room. Good girl. Very quick thinking under pressure. Now pay close attention. Jiang Zahio, standing right outside that bathroom door, decided this was the absolutely perfect moment for a serious chat. Yusen, listen. While he is gone, I need to tell you my secret plan. I want to eliminate Chunyu. He is a totally unstable element on this team. Inside the bathroom, Deng Yusen blurted out. No, you definitely cannot. He tried. The door handle, completely locked. What do you mean I cannot? I am totally fine. My stomach hurts. Maybe I caught a cold. Don't come in. I'll be right out. Eventually, the door slowly cracked open. Deng Yusen awkwardly squeezed out sideways. Jiang Zahio took one single look at her, and his brain completely stalled. Her hair was a total disaster. Strands stuck right to her sweaty temples. Her face was bright red from her ears down to her neck. Fresh hair tracks still highly visible. Her eyes were frantically darting everywhere except at him. Her uniform was wrinkled beyond recognition, buttons terribly misaligned, collar totally loosened and crooked. That pleated skirt was completely crushed on one side. She looked like she had survived a massive tornado inside a bathroom with zero water. Jiang Zahio's expression went incredibly dark, but right before he could form the angry question, clearly loading behind his eyes. Help! Somebody help! Wang Mengming screaming from downstairs. Full panic mode. Boom! The loud sound of something massive violently hitting the glass. Crash! The massive barricade we built, shelves, counters, everything getting violently smashed to pieces. The entire building violently shook. Dust rained from the ceiling. Someone just busted through our front door with the subtlety of a massive wrecking ball. Jinhua burst out of the other room and sprinted downstairs, Lai Minggao desperately followed, shouting loudly about people standing outside. Deng Yusen tightly grabbed Jin Zahio's arm. He firmly grabbed her back. I know what you are thinking, but whatever questions were forming in his head got shoved aside by survival instinct. He glanced one last time at that dark bathroom. Nothing there, just empty shadows. I calmly leaned against the back wall of that dark bathroom, shaking my head. Absolutely terrible timing, but honestly, mission accomplished. My brilliant little scheme with Deng Yusen had worked out beautifully. I had used Jin Zahio's scratch, a totally normal wound that I repackaged as a wild zombie infection to fully convince her that her boyfriend was fading fast, and the only possible cure, total obedience to me. She swallowed every single word, because I am the prophet, and wise prophets never lie. Except this one. This guy lies constantly. Suddenly, the system magically updated her status. Red Phoenix, Deng Yusen connection type, subconscious safety and trust. Physical bond depth level 10 multiplier 100 times. Crayfish return, 50 kilograms per summon. Level 10, 100 times multiplier, 50 kilograms of crayfish every single day. That isn't a meal. That's a delivery service. I could feed a whole restaurant. I could literally open a crayfish franchise chain during the apocalypse. End of the world seafood shack. Freshness guaranteed. Questions not welcome. But the party downstairs needed attending. I made my way down to find our entire supermarket completely and utterly wrecked. The glass door we'd so carefully barricaded, entirely shattered across the floor like cheap confetti, and standing in the thick dust cloud, like the final boss of a gym commercial, were 6 enormous men. Big men. Seriously big men. The leader was a bald giant, 6'3". Easy. Casually holding a fire axe. You have to see this. Sorry, fire hammer like a TV remote. Behind him, 5 more walls of muscle, all in their 20s and 30s. Let's dive right into this wild mystery together. The bald guy barked, "We're Bong fitness trainers. I am Gao Jin Song." Mingming smartly tried to network. Oh, Bong Fitness. That is in Jiang City. We attend Hai Sing Film Academy. My friend has a membership there. Gao Jinong cut her off with an intensely cold grin. Well, look what we have here, boys. Film Academy girls. No wonder they are absolutely stunning. His 5 companions instantly lit up with dramatic excitement. And honestly, Jiang Wanyua, Deng Yusen, Ying Yao, and Wang Mingming were all exceptionally captivating and cheerful girls. They are from the performance department. Normally, that is wonderful. But in this mysterious, lawless wasteland, with 6 tough guys holding weapons, not great at all. Gao Jinong slowly tapped a massive hammer against his palm. So, what is the plan, ladies? Walk over here nicely, and let us tough guys keep you totally safe. Or do we have to come over and get you ourselves? 6 massive trainers versus 1 scrawny college boyfriend, and 4 extremely nervous girls. And me? I was upstairs listening to everything, confidently cracking my knuckles. Constitution 100. Strength 10 times a normal man. My talent literally absorbs negative energy to grow stronger. Those gym guys chose the completely wrong supermarket. I was upstairs waiting as the show started. Jiang Zahi finally found his courage. Awful timing, but credit where it is due. He bravely grabbed an iron pipe, stepped forward, and yelled at 6 professional bodybuilders to leave our supermarket immediately. This is our place, our stuff. I am a rank. Get out right now. Was he brave? Sure. Was he smart? Absolutely not. The bald leader Gao Jin Song chuckled like someone watching a kitten hiss at a huge truck. Kid, let me teach you a little something. In this world, things belong to whoever grabs them. Jiang Zahio charged anyway, rushing at full speed. Watch closely now. He swung that iron pipe at the guy with everything he had. But here is the problem. Gao Jin Song awakened his talent holding a custom trophy. A rank iron wall. It massively boosted his damage resistance and added stun reflection against blunt weapons. So when that pipe hit his raised arm, clang, Jin Zahio felt his hands go completely numb. The intense shock traveled up his arms like electricity. He stumbled backward. The pipe barely scratched the trainer. While Jin staggered, a skinny guy nearby launched sharp glass shards exactly like throwing stars. 2 direct hits, stomach and left arm. Total chaos everywhere. Jin Zahio went down yelling. Ding Yusen desperately tried to run, but Wang Mingming held her back. Jiang Wanyua gripped a pipe, but knew she could not fight. Lai Mingyao collapsed, utterly paralyzed by the terrifying scene. Gao Jintong simply stepped right over Jin Zahi like he was a minor speed bump. That is your rank? Pathetic. Then he looked down and issued an order. You loser, take these ropes. Tie your female classmates' hands securely behind their backs. Nice and tight. Jin Zahio pleaded, if I do it, will you spare me? Gao Jinong laughed. Of course. Good boy. And Jiang Zahi, the very guy who spent all night pounding his chest about being the brave protector, slowly picked up the ropes. He started with Deng Yusen, his own girlfriend. His hands shook so bad the knots came out crooked. She did not resist. She cried silently, staring at him with a dramatic expression that could break glass. Then he moved to Jiang Wanhua. I know what you are thinking, but watch this. Jiang Hua, even about to be tied, was brilliantly thinking ahead. She whispered to him in rapid fire, listen, in a few seconds, I will rush the door and distract them. You grab the girls and escape through the window. She was bravely offering to distract them so everyone else could escape safely. Jin Zahios calculated the odds, but definitely not the math she expected. What he actually calculated was, if her plan succeeds and the girls escape, everyone will know he was the massive coward who tied up his own classmates. He would be known as the ultimate villain forever. His girlfriend would never look at him the same way. But if those gym guys got what they wanted, there would be absolutely no witnesses. So Jin Zahio wildly spun around and yelled at the gym trainers. Boss, this woman is planning to escape. She told me to help the others run away. Tie her up tight. Gag her. Silence. Complete, absolute, soul-crushing silence filled the room. Even the tough gym guys were totally stunned. Then they loudly burst out laughing. Huh? This kid just totally sold out his own classmates. For a pretty one too. That is cold. At least he knows which side his bread is buttered on. Jiang Wanhua went entirely pale. Deng Yusen stopped crying not because she felt better, but because her brain physically could not process the betrayal she just witnessed. The boyfriend she loved for 3 years just gift-wrapped her and all her friends to a pack of absolute wolves, and then asked for a pat on the head. Wang Mingming and Lai Minggao were simply too terrified to even whimper. Jin Zahio did not look back. He kept loudly shouting instructions about how to tie better knots, acting exactly like an eager intern trying to impress his new boss. The gym crew quickly spread out, blocking every exit. 6 huge men, 4 terrified girls, 1 traitor, 0 hope. Trust me, it gets wild. Jiang Wanhua thought, please, Shenyu, do not come downstairs. You cannot fight with just a prophecy. Talent. They will break you. Then from upstairs, footsteps echo. Tap, tap, tap. Coming down the stairs, completely casual, like someone getting a midnight snack. Gao Jin Song grinned widely. Oh, more company. Another pretty film schoolgirl. Lucky us. Jiang Wanhua closed her eyes, expecting the worst. But stick with me here, guys, because neither the girls, Jiang Zahio, nor those 6 meatheads knew the truth. They had no clue the guy walking down those stairs possessed the strength of 10 men. He held 2 SSS ranked talents and had already survived 1 entire apocalypse before. Those bulky gym trainers thought they had cornered some completely helpless students. They had 0 idea. They just awakened an absolute boss. I took my time on those stairs. No rush at all. Let them get comfortable. Let them think they actually won. Makes it way more fun when they realize they completely failed. Lucky you. Your first station, and you ran straight into me. I strolled down those stairs like I was walking a fashion runway. Black boots, cargo pants, tactical jacket, and a fire axe. Pure main character energy. Gao Jinsung's creepy grin completely froze on his face. I will give him some credit. He was not entirely stupid. He could tell something was weird about me. Absolutely no panic. 0 anger. Just a strange calm that did not belong here. Jiang Zahio, the absolute coward who spent 5 minutes tying up his own girlfriend for strangers, suddenly snarled at me. Oh, now you finally show up, buddy? You literally just betrayed every woman on our team. Sit down. The grown-ups are talking. Jiang Wan and the other girls stared at me, and I could clearly see it in their eyes. Even terrified, they were comparing the traitor to the axe guy. Now watch closely, because this is where the tension completely spikes. Between those two, definitely not a hard choice. I stopped 2 meters away, axe pointing at the floor, completely casual. Touch my people again. I spoke, and that skinny guy they called Monkey froze, hand inches from Jiang Wanu's face. Good boy. Gao Jinsong snarled loudly. Who exactly do you think you are threatening, kid? He fired up his talent. Iron Wall. Full power. His skin turned a weird metallic color, exactly like a human bronze statue. Then he wound up that fire hammer and swung it at my head with everything he had. His gym boys were cheering loudly. And a rank plus professional martial arts? That kid is totally finished. Here is what they didn't know. I wasn't just some kid with the prophecy talent. I had Grand Perceptor Vessel. Constitution 100. 10 times the physical ability of a normal guy. Strength, endurance, durability. All of it instantly multiplied by 10. Gao Jinsong's precious iron wall against 10 times normal human force. Basically paper. His massive hammer met my axe and went flying from his hands like a plastic toy. His face completely twisted from pure confidence to confusion, then wrought terror in half a second. He could not grasp how a simple college kid overpowered him like a toddler. Then my axe firmly finished the conversation. 1 swing, 2 seconds, absolutely done. I casually shook the dust off my hand, glancing at the remaining 5 guys. 2 options here. Give up yourselves, or I handle it for you. Total silence. The kind of silence that feels heavy. Wait. Jiang Wanhua had her hands over her mouth. Lai Mingyao and Wang Mingming were completely frozen solid. First time seeing someone get completely crushed. For Lai Mingyao, I could practically see the regret forming in real time. I literally dumped this guy today. The guy who just turned a professional fighter into modern art with the single fire axe. All because Wang Mingming told me to. Ding Yuzhen was easily the most complicated. She just watched her boyfriend tie her up and hand her over to absolute creeps. Then she watched me walk downstairs alone and delete the biggest threat in 2 seconds flat. Let's pause. We all agree this brutal contrast seriously needed a warning label, but there were still 5 more meatheads, and they bravely decided to rush me all at once. One had a B-rank heavy strike using a baseball bat. Another had a B-rank sprint start from a whistle. The other 3 had garbage talents, but possessed years of solid gym muscle. Then something incredibly beautiful happened. The girls fought back. Jiang Wanhua jumped to my side first. I will cover you. Ding Yuzhen bravely grabbed a weapon. Me too. Even Lai Mingyao and Wang Mingming grabbed random shelf items, forming a tight circle around me. They could not fight worth anything, but they were genuinely trying to stop me getting surrounded. Meanwhile, Jiang Zahio, the team's official combat talent, stood in the corner nervously muttering about dreams. Girls with D-rank and B-rank non-combat talents showed more guts than the A-rank fighter. Let that sink in. Not that I actually needed protection, but it was sweet. Smash. Axe right through them. Smash. Another one. Smash. And another. 5 gym trainers. 5 attempts at rushing me. 5 identical results. My axe did not discriminate. Everyone got equal treatment. When the final guy fell, I stood in the middle of the wreckage, barely breathing hard. And that is exactly when I felt it. My talent, Grand Perceptor Vessel, quietly drinking in the negative energy floating around me. The defeat, the wild violence, the lingering malice. It was absorbing all of it like a sponge. I checked my stats panel and nearly laughed. A new line appeared, free attribute points. Defeating them gave me stats. Trust me, we definitely want to see what happens next. Alright, stick with me here. Normal survivors grind missions for these points. I just scored one by permanently canceling a 6-man gym membership. 1 single point equals 1/10 of an average adult's total base capability. Doesn't sound like a lot, but on this survival road, every fraction matters. And if eliminating enemies keeps rewarding me, my growth potential is practically infinite. I toss that point straight into charisma, bumping it from 10 to 11. Why? Because my Red Phoenix talent runs totally on emotional connections. And building trust needs a little charm as a door opener. Can't charm the apocalypse on a 10. Behind me, Zhang Zaho kept shaking his head, slapping his face, mumbling that this was a dream. He sees the future and fights like an absolute monster. Impossible. Just a dream. Wake up. He pinched himself, slapped his cheeks, looked around at the 6 completely defeated bodybuilders scattered across the floor. Still not a dream, buddy. Welcome to my survival road. I slowly walked up to Zhang Zaho with the axe, letting every footstep echo. Your turn to choose, Zhang Zaho. His brain basically hit a total factory reset. All that tough guy energy, gone like smoke, replaced by absolute panic, tears, and the fastest begging routine in recorded history. His forehead was hammering the hard concrete, like he wanted to dig a tunnel with his skull. Chen bro, I was completely wrong. I am total trash. Spare me. I will literally be your loyal dog. Point who to bite, and I bite. He literally offered me his own girlfriend, right out loud in front of her. Deng Yusin flinched like she had been slapped. Any tiny shred of affection she still held for this pathetic guy completely snapped right then, vaporized. But since she is fundamentally a decent person, her eyes actually softened. Tears rolling down, she begged, Shenyu, you promised to save him. Please do not end him today. Now, pay close attention here. I scanned the room. Zhang Wan Li Minzhuo, Wang Mingming. None were begging, but nobody demanded payback either. They just stood there, looking totally uncomfortable and uncertain. That told me absolutely everything. These girls had not faced reality yet. They thought mercy was free, still believing in sweet second chances. They had not learned the golden rule of survival. If a guy betrays you once, he will absolutely do it again. Never give snakes a second chance. In my past life, any traitor got instantly erased. No exceptions, zero mercy. Because showing mercy gets you destroyed. But I could not force that harsh lesson on them today. Not yet. Push too hard, they might rebel. I needed them loyal first, then harden. So, I just smiled. Sure, since everyone is asking so nicely, I will spare him. He is in a rank anyway, and we are classmates. Zhang Zaho looked up with pure joy. Really, Chen bro? You are my absolute savior. I will never. I rolled up my sleeve. His babbling slowed. His eyes tracked my hand, getting massive in his vision. Smack. One solid backhand. His whole body spun midair like a helicopter blade, crashing hard. Lights out. Out cold before he even hit the floor. The girls just stared. Jaws dropped. I simply dusted off my hands. Tie him up. And grab the gear from those knocked out guys. Keep the blunt stuff. The knife is mine. Blades are super rare today. This whole place only had scissors, but one of those gym bros had a short blade. Super lucky find for them. You and I both saw this coming, right? 2 hours later, pitch black, just one single candle flickering in the upstairs room. Zhang Zaho woke up strapped to a chair, face totally throbbing. Wait, Shenyu promised not to finish him. He called out for Deng Yusin. Total silence. His heart plummeted. Then, faint noises echoed from the bathroom. His girlfriend sounded breathless. Yusin, is that you? Are you alright? A heavy pause. Yeah, it is me. Zaho, what happened? Did Shenyu take his anger out on you? No, he is just really strong. Zhang Zaho froze completely. Nobody asked that. What kind of crazy answer was that? His mind started racing toward conclusions he desperately wanted to avoid. He demanded more answers, but got worse replies. Every stammered word twisted the knife even deeper. He wanted to break free, storm in, and demand the truth. But he was tied up, and the guy next door could literally snap a bodybuilder in half. What exactly could he even do? So, he just sat there imagining fairy tales. She is probably just resting. Bathrooms get warm, completely normal. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Then the door clicked open. Deng Yusin walked out, looking totally exhausted. And right behind her, me, looking extremely satisfied. I casually glanced at Zhang Zaho, then dropped my hand right on Deng Yusin's shoulder. Oh, you are finally awake. He stared at my hand. His brain was screaming in pure rage, but his mouth forced a broken, pathetic survival mode. Smile. Haha. Hey Chen bro, why am I tied up? I lit a cigarette and sat on the bed. So what do you and I make of this wild twist? Stick with me here. I am heading out to scout. Only girls remain behind now. You literally sold out your own team to save yourself. A rank combat talent, tied down. We sleep better this way. He nodded frantically. Fair, totally fair. Makes perfect sense, Shin bro. I grabbed my axe and walked out. Behind me, Jiang Zahyo sat in the dark, tied to a chair, replaying every noise through that bathroom door, wondering which reality hurts less. Jiang Zahyo nodded frantically, like a bobblehead on a dashboard. You are right, Shin bro. Tie me up. Smart thinking. Very necessary. Great work. He agreed with absolutely everything. Eyes full of tears, voice completely broken down. But while his mouth kept groveling, his eyes drifted toward the shadows. A pair of old sewing scissors, left behind by the previous owner. I saw it. Obviously, I have the survival instincts of someone who already perished once. You think I would miss a weapon near a traitor? I did not take those scissors. I left them right there on purpose. Deng Yusin followed me out. In the hallway, Bumped into Jiang Wanhua quietly organizing supplies. You are going out? It might not be safe. Someone must check the area, I said. But I never went downstairs. Instead, I pushed open the door to Lai Minzhou and Wang Mingming's room, and sat right on the bed. Everyone stared, confused. Watch closely here. I dropped one sentence. He will break in soon. Understanding hit them instantly. I was not leaving. This was a psychological experiment, a personality test on a live subject. Totally unaware, I leaned back, put my hands behind my head, and closed my eyes. Relaxation mode fully activated. Deng Yusen scooted over fast. Let me massage your legs. The room went completely silent. Everyone processed Jiang Zahio's girlfriend voluntarily massaging my legs now. Wang Mingming's survival instincts booted up fast. She elbowed Lai Minzhou. Get over there. Lai Minzhou hissed back. I am not doing that. Her ego absolutely refused. She was the beautiful ex-girlfriend, always showered with gifts. Going from queen to Mrs. was unacceptable. Wang Mingming waited 3 seconds, saw Lai Minzhou staying still and thought, fine, my turn. She put on her sweetest baby face, bounced over to the bed, and chirped, I will take the other leg. I am really good at this. This woman, the exact one who orchestrated my past breakup, the one who mocked me. Now, she squats by my bed with innocent eyes, treating me like royalty. You and I both know she did not deserve any rewards from me today. Not ever. I do not need you, I said flatly. Wang Mingming's fake smile completely crumbled. She had never been rejected before. Pretty face. Guys always lining up. And here, I was telling her to get lost, giving someone else the absolute top VIP treatment. She crawled off the bed, standing in the corner with wounded pride. I remembered how she sabotaged my relationship earlier, mocking me constantly. People like Wang Mingming and Lai Minzhou think the world resets when the situation completely changes. It never does. I keep receipts. Their turn will definitely come. Jiang Wanhua stood by the door, watching everything with very complicated eyes. How quickly old social rules dissolved. Friendship, romance, dignity, pride, all melting in the heat of survival. 10 minutes passed. That was all it took. Heavy footsteps in the hallway. Running. Bang. Jiang Zahio stood there, scissors in hand, face twisted with pure rage. Then he froze. There I was, resting peacefully, his girlfriend massaging my legs. Jiang Wanhua leaning calmly against the frame. Lai Minzhou and Wang Mingming in the corner. Everyone staring at him for what he was. A predictable fool walking right into a trap. The scissors clattered loudly to the floor, leaving him tied loosely, leaving those scissors perfectly visible. Walking away. It was all totally choreographed. I wanted him to escape and charge in here. I wanted everyone to witness his true colors, because words teach nothing. Demonstrations do. He slid down the doorframe like a puppet with cut strings. Eyes hollow. I stood up and grabbed my axe. See that guy right there? The second he got a chance, he came to attack. You, not apologize. I looked at every girl in the room. So what do you and I learn? Showing mercy almost got them wiped out completely. Silence. You and I are diving right in. I walked to Jin Zahio. He looked up, maybe wanting to beg, but I gave 0 chances today. One solid swing, done. I lowered the axe and faced the room, my voice cool and sharp. Listen up. Deng Yusen, Wang Mingming, Yin Yao. All 3 of you take a knee. Do not stand without my permission. No talking, no looking around. Wang Mingming and Lai Manjia snapped their heads up, eyes totally wide with shock. Kneel? Yes. Kneel. Because in my past life, I showed way too much mercy to bad people, and it got me completely eliminated. This time around, my entire squad learns one major rule first, and they learn it kneeling down. The old super nice guy is officially gone. Wang Mingming and Lai Minga stared at me like I asked them to eat rocks. Kneel, as in on the floor. I stayed calm, not feeling it. They nervously glanced at each other. The trick about my calm face? It is the exact look I had taking down 7 enemies 10 minutes ago. Turns out, calm and terrifying look exactly the same when you hold a fearsome axe. Lai Mingao tried to negotiate. Chun Chin Yu, I think maybe we could. I pulled her right back before she even finished that single sentence. You think? If your thinking was worth anything, Jiang Zahio would never have broken free and kicked down that door. Her eyes watered instantly. Sorry, I am sorry. I will kneel. I let go. You can resist. But then you leave. Get out of my sight and try surviving solo. If you lack the guts for that, then do exactly what I am telling you. Now, pay close attention. The Shinyu La Minga remembers bought her phones, laptops, and jewelry without even asking. He never raised his voice, never said no, but that sweet Shinyu got completely eliminated on the survival road. Wang Mingming dropped straight to her knees without another word. She was genuinely terrified of me. Now, smart girl, late, but very smart. Lai Mingao saw her bestie already down, and followed. Deep breath, knees flat on the floor. Dang Yin was already kneeling by the wall. It was the most natural thing ever. Zero complaints, zero tears. Just perfect obedience. The other two kept sneaking quick glances at her, wondering how she went from sweet, lovey-dovey girlfriend to this in just one single night. I turned to Jiang Wanhua, class monitor, go finish organizing our supplies downstairs. The weird abnormal status officially ends in just 1 hour. Thank you for your hard work. Those exact words hit her just like a totally unexpected surprise. Birthday present. Her eyes completely lit up. She was not forced to kneel. She got a genuine thank you while 3 other girls were on their knees. Being treated with basic respect felt exactly like winning the big lottery. No problem, she said, practically sprinting right downstairs. It is hilarious how fast standards drop during the apocalypse. I walked into the other room and comfortably lay down on the bed. Checking stats. Danger, level 13. 130 times multiplier. 65 kilograms of crayfish per summon. That is enough seafood to cater weddings every single day. The girl was literally a walking Red Lobster franchise. As for the other 3, Jiang Wai Ming Yao, Wang Mingming, none of them had even hit the basic subconscious safety trust level yet. Let's be real. They obeyed from fear, not trust. Fear fades. Trust builds. Long road ahead. The timer hit 0. System announcement. Zone 7 status returned to temporarily safe. And then the really good stuff. Rewards. Bronze construction material chests. Multiple chests scattered throughout the residential area. Checking contents. Building materials for vehicle upgrades. Vehicle upgrades. This was huge. Our crappy little minivan needed serious work if we wanted to survive the later stages. And those bronze tier building chests were the first step. I had exactly 4 hours before departure. Zombies were now restricted, so even the girls could move safely. Jiang Wanu reported in perfectly like a good soldier. Supplies organized. Shared backpack is full. Everything sorted per your instructions. Awesome work. I walked back to the other room. 3 girls still kneeling. Knees probably screaming, but 0 complaints. Time to get up. We're hunting for treasure chests. They scrambled to their feet, wincing but silent. Good discipline. We're definitely making progress. Jean Wanhua asked the obvious question. Can you predict exactly where the chests are? Sort of, I casually lied. It is blurry. I need to search around. In truth, I had no idea where they were, but admitting that would definitely crack the profit image. Blurry visions are the perfect excuse for everything, right? Staying vague always works out perfectly. The complex is huge, so we split up. Me and Dang Yusin, one team. You 3, the other team. Wang Mingming softly whimpered. Splitting up again. What? You want me babysitting you forever? Do not push your luck. I gave them one pro tip before leaving. Check stairwells and common areas. Locked apartments probably will not have chests. No point hiding loot where nobody can easily reach it. Lai Mingao asked. When we find one, we bring it to you? I smiled. Obviously, my ex-girlfriend was finally learning. I almost felt proud. Deng Yusin trotted behind me like a very loyal puppy. Trust me, stick around for this. As we headed to the nearest building, I shifted modes completely. Treasure hunting time now. Everything else later. Stick with me here. Jiang Wanui gathered Ling Yao and Wang Mingming for a harsh reality check. Ding Yusin provides the food. I supply water. You two offer B- rank disguise and D rank clock watching. Honestly, that is basically absolutely nothing. If you do not make yourselves useful immediately, China will absolutely cut you loose. Get it? Both girls nodded fiercely, understanding the situation perfectly. In this strange new world, usefulness guarantees survival. Right now, their actual usefulness hovered between completely decorative and absolute zero. Time for some serious treasure hunting. One abandoned neighborhood, and the future of our broken minivan depended entirely on whatever. Building supplies. We could scavenge. Time to go shopping. An hour of searching. 3 total strikes. Power distribution room? Completely empty. Garbage collection point? Nothing. Abandoned vehicle shed? Absolutely zilch. Ding Yusen sighed heavily. 3 whole spots. 0 chests. If they were super easy to find, nobody would call them treasure chests. I led her straight toward the creepy old boiler room. Huge, pitch dark, and the exact kind of place most people skip because it looks absolutely terrifying. Based on my past lives, that is exactly where the mysterious system hides top rewards. Forgotten corners and overlooked spaces that truly test you. Ding Yusen stared into the pitch-black doorway, whimpering about the heavy darkness. Want to survive? You must explore where others refuse. Also, did I not tell everyone to pack flashlights? She bit her lip, squeezed her eyes shut for courage, and jogged right after me. Pulling 2 flashlights from her inventory, she handed me one. Smart girl, learning fast. The boiler room was absolutely massive inside. Rust and machine oil smelled everywhere. Broken machinery, collapsed metal shelving, and junk piled in every corner. Suddenly, my flashlight beam caught something hidden between the old boiler and the back wall. A huge box radiating a beautiful bronze shimmer. Found it. Ding Yusen gasped. Now watch closely. This is where it gets wild. Her face turned entirely pale because crouching beside the chest was a creepy figure, slowly turning toward us. Cloudy eyes, stiff movements, glowing pupils in the dark. Zombie, she hissed, tightly yanking my sleeve. I nodded calmly. Yeah, clearly see it. Super scary. A hard-skinned zombie, the tougher variety. Regular knives cannot even scratch them. Most people would need a full team effort to bring one down. I am not most people. Hold the light steady. Aim right at it. Ding Yusen's hands were shaking so terribly. The light beam was literally doing a disco dance on the walls. Stop shaking. Before I could even finish the sentence, the monster loudly shrieked and lunged straight toward the brightest light source. Straight at Ding Yusen, she screamed. Keep the light perfectly on it. Do not move. I rushed from the side. One brutal swing. Smash. Eliminated. Collapsed. Twitched twice. Done in seconds. Constitution 100. I am basically the Hulk inside a college student's body. I genuinely do not know how I could lose a fight right now. Maybe if someone dropped a whole building on me. Just maybe. Ding Yusen stood, mouth hanging open, flashlight still pointing at the defeated monster. Next time, do not panic, I said, or I will punish you. Her face flushed completely red, clearly wondering exactly what kind of punishment I meant. I walked over to the fallen zombie and quickly activated Grand Perceptor Vessel. A pleasant wave of energy flowed straight through me as the monster shriveled up like a raisin, fully drained of its negative energy, but 0 free stat points this time. Interesting. Defeating those 6 gym guys earlier gave me 1 point, but this zombie gave me nothing. My theory? It is not about defeating enemies generally. It is about the quality of what you defeat. Those gym guys possess decent talents. This zombie was simply just a regular zombie. You and I both know what this means. Defeating strong fighters pays better. The system basically wants me playing the villain. Challenge accepted. Now, the treasure chest. I could have opened it myself, but that would be idiotic. Why? Because my Red Phoenix talent completely multiplies whatever Ding Yusen earns. If she opens the chest, I get 130 times the contents. You open it. She blinked those big eyes at me. Me? Who else? Go on. There is a reward inside. Oh, I do not need a reward. I never asked if you needed one. Open it. She gently placed her hand on the chest. The lid slid open with a soft glow. Obtained. Wood, 30 units. Iron, 15 units. Parts, 20 units. Low-grade energy core 1. Nice haul. She dumped everything straight into the shared backpack without keeping a single piece for herself. Then looked at me with big puppy eyes, clearly waiting to be praised. But I was too busy having a total heart attack. My Red Phoenix return notification hit. 130 multiplier applied. Return wood, 3,900. Iron 1950. Parts 2,600. Cores 130. 3,900 wood. Nearly 2,000 units. Of iron. 2,600 parts. 130 cores. In my whole past life, I never saw a 4-digit material reward. Not even close. The richest groups only had single digits. I had 130. So what do you and I make of this insane haul? By day 2, we were not just upgrading our broken minivan to a standard bus. We could probably build a battleship. Stick with me here, Chinu. Hello? Ding Yusin waved. I had totally spaced out, standing completely frozen for an awkwardly long time. Are you okay? I just loaded the items into our shared bag. Not a big deal. Oh, sweet, innocent, naive Ding Yusin. You just spawned enough building materials to make every single group out here cry with pure jealousy. Not a big deal. Then her face dropped. Wait, did the class monitor rearrange our shared backpack? I instantly snapped out of my loot trance and pulled open the team inventory menu. Something was completely off. The item layout shifted, not randomly, but totally on purpose. Slot 1, bottled water, times 1. Slot 2, bottled water, times 1. Slot 3, empty. Slot 4, bottled water, times 36. Slot 5, compressed biscuits, times 58. Slot 6, canned pork, times 28. Slot 7, instant noodles, times 35. Each space holds 100 identical items, letting you cheat the system. Why would someone put just one water bottle per slot, instead of stacking them together? Why leave slot 3 entirely empty? 1, 1, 0, 36, 58, 28. This was not a mess. It was a secret message. Zhang Wanhua, you genius. Wait. Ding Yusin's eyes went incredibly wide, staring blankly at the shared inventory screen. I was already sprinting. You are right. The water bottles spell out 110. The emergency number. They need help. Let us move. She scrambled right behind me. But to where? Slot 4. 36 bottles. Building 36. Such a smart girl. Zhang Wanhua used her talent. Now watch closely. She used her pure water skill to create a coded distress signal. Slots 1, 1, 0. Fourth slot, 36 for the location. All done using bottled water. Her absolute signature item. Basically an epic survival distress signal written in bottled water. Class monitor, you magnificent genius. We burst out of the boiler room, scanning the area. We are near building 6. Building 36 is far. Yusin, throw the short knife straight into the shared backpack. She did it immediately without questioning me. Perfect. Now, Zhang Wanhua could arm herself if she checked the inventory. Then I scooped Ding Yusin into my arms and sprinted. Full constitution, 100% explosion, 10 times normal human speed. The heavy wind was literally screaming past us. Ding Yusin's hair whipped everywhere, leaving her breathless. She was totally thinking, if this guy entered the Olympics, he would easily sweep every gold medal. Also, he claims he can only see the future, but he is running like an absolute cheetah while carrying an entire person. How many wild secrets does this guy actually have? Honestly, even I found it awkward. My body was a supercar, but agility sat at baseline 10. It felt like strapping a rocket engine directly to a shopping cart. Incredible raw speed, but absolutely zero finesse. Every single step hit the pavement like a mini earthquake. If I could boost my agility stat, I would probably double this speed easily. A few minutes later, Building 13 came right into view. Two figures suddenly stumbled out from behind a massive garbage wall. You know exactly what happens next, right? Lai Minggao and Wang Mingming came running and crying, treating me like the last rescue chopper. Shinyu, help us. We ran into another team. They grabbed the class monitor. She made a loud noise to distract them, so we could run. Lai Minggao was sobbing so intensely she could barely speak. Wang Mingming was just nodding frantically right beside her in pure panic. The guy can control fire. Real fire. Ding Yusin went completely pale. Real flames turn you to ashes. Fire. I frowned. A fire manipulator. That meant whoever this guy was, he most likely awakened his powers near something like a luxury lighter. That kind of talent is a rank minimum, may even S rank. And while my body was 10 times stronger, fire is still fire. Even the Hulk hates getting roasted. Fine. Building 36 first. Tell me absolutely everything on the way there. I led the group at a steady jog, battle axe firmly in hand. Lai Minggao caught her breath, explaining they followed my advice by searching public areas. They found a bronze chest on Building 36, but another group was already standing right there waiting for them. Wang Mingming added they tried leaving peacefully, but the rival group aggressively demanded all their survival supplies and every bit of intel about our team. So, what exactly did you tell them? I asked sharply. Wang Mingming stuttered nervously. I said we were just ordinary students. Really weak. We hoped they would feel sorry for us and let us walk. I stopped moving, turning around instantly. Are you actually an idiot? Wang Mingming, if you had mentioned that I single-handedly defeated 6 armed men, they might have actually backed off. Instead, you completely told them we are helpless targets. She shrank down. Lai Mingao quickly jumped into the conversation. The class monitor did try warning them, but they absolutely refused to believe it. I waved it off. Of course, they did not. My teammate defeated 6 guys by himself. Sounds exactly like the kind of desperate lie a scared college girl would invent. Then, Wang Mingming suddenly remembered something important. Oh, while we were running, another squad showed up. All girls, and they immediately started fighting. The very first group. That is how we escaped. All girls? Yes, they were incredibly fierce. But the class monitor ran a totally different direction, and someone chased her down. Before I could even respond, Ding Yusen cut in. The water count just changed. Slot 1 now has exactly 40 bottles. So what do you and I make of this? She moved to building 40, updating her location in real time, sprinting for survival while managing logistics. This girl was totally wasted in film school. She should be leading an army. Inside building 40, 4th floor stairwell, Jongwon crouched behind a smashed cabinet. She had 2 strangers beside her from another team. Stick with me here, because that second girl is about to steal the entire show today. Jongwon said she wore a cream dress, a tough black jacket, and combat boots. Like she honestly could not pick between attending a runway show and entering an active war zone. Her right sleeve was totally shredded, revealing a nasty burn on her arm. She patched it up one-handed, using her teeth and torn strips from her own dress. Her name? Zhao Ning. Mixed features, tall nose, long lashes, a total head turner. But Jongwon did not even focus on her striking beauty. It was her eyes. Zero fear, just pure, stubborn defiance. Minutes earlier, Jongwon stumbled into building 40, finding Zhao Ning fighting fiercely. She protected Yang Ting while falling back, having already taken down 2 heavy hitters using just a crowbar. Clean, fast, and clearly trained. But then the fire guy appeared. A crew-cut thug named Brother Bin unleashed flames from his palms. Zhao Ning's arm caught fire instantly. Another teammate charged out to buy them time, but Jongwon seriously doubted she made it out. So, here's the absolutely wild situation. Jongwon hiding with 2 injured strangers. A fire-wielding maniac actively hunting them through the building. My 2 useless former teammates just handed the enemy our biggest weakness on a silver platter. Meanwhile, me, sprinting across an empty neighborhood with a fire axe and a crayfish girl, ready to fight a walking flamethrower. You are going to want to see this. While I sprinted over with my axe, here's the absolute madness happening on her end. She told me everything later, and honestly, it felt like listening to an epic action movie plot I somehow missed. Jongwon crouched behind that busted cabinet alongside 2 terrified girls from another team. Pulling disinfectant from the shared backpack, she handed it to the girl with the injured arm. Zhao Ning was built completely different from everyone else here. Shang University Sports Scholarship, 7th Dan and Sand's rank agility talent, short track star, and 5-time speed burst. She rattled off her resume like she was at a corporate job interview, not hiding injured behind a cabinet in an apocalypse. 7th Dan Sanda means this girl could knock most guys out cold, long before she ever unlocked any superpowers. With 5-time speed, she acted like a human missile. But even missiles have hard limits. The fire guy's range is way too wide, and his heat is intense, Zhao Ning stated flatly. I cannot close the gap, and even if I could, I cannot one-shot him. If your teammate fails to show, we are finished here. Jongwon winced. He is strong, but I cannot guarantee he will arrive. Zhao Ning scoffed. You cannot rely on men for anything. They will not even save a pretty girl like you. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed below. The hunting party was close. We all know this scary feeling, right? That academy chick cannot escape. Check every floor. Bin, this place looks empty. Leave? The fire guy, Wang Yongbin, snarled fiercely. That leather jacket girl and that film school nobody are not escaping. This nightmare could take us tomorrow. If I fade out, I'm having fun first. Charming. Truly charming. Jongwon heard their entire twisted conversation and instantly went into full galaxy brain mode. She checked the shared backpack, spotting the short knife I told Deng to drop inside. It was my way of saying, I got your message. I am coming. Arm yourself. Grabbing the blade, she faced Zhao Ning and a trembling Yang Ting. I will draw them away. You 2 head downstairs. If you spot a guy and girl nearby, follow them immediately. They will lead you to my team. Zhao Ning blinked. You rescued me first. I'm just paying it back now. Before anyone could even argue, the hostile men finally found them. Zhang Wan stood up voluntarily, knife ready, her back against the wall. 5 imposing guys, average age 40 plus. Heavy construction worker builds, dirty clothes, wielding solid iron bars and wooden boards. Led by Wang Yongbin, crew cut, black tank top, bulging muscles, and a creepy smile straight from a prison lineup. He scanned Zhang Wan up and down like literal merchandise. Film Academy girl, huh? Never see faces like this on the site. Zhang Wan kept her voice perfectly level. I want zero trouble. Let us go our separate ways. Separate ways? He laughed mockingly. Hand over everything in your backpack, right now. Then come with us quietly. She gripped her knife tightly. Take the supplies. Just let me go. Extending his palm, a fist-sized orange fireball appeared, flickering and spitting intense heat. Disobey me, and I turn that pretty face into charcoal. I have burned more people today than I can count. Zhang Wan tried one desperate final play. Pure bluffing. I have serious insider information. This survival road only lasts 3 days. Then everybody returns to normal reality. Take too many out, and face punishment. They hesitated. But trust me, things are about to absolutely explode. Let's dive right into this wild showdown. Wang Yongbin smirked. Nice acting, but true or not, I'm having my fun first. Zhang Hua bolted, blade drawn. She swung at the closest guy and sprinted down that corridor. Get her. A massive fireball roared past her head. The shockwave blasted her sideways, ears ringing. She turned back. Wang Yongbin charged his next shot, palm glowing bright orange. Run again, and you are extra crispy. His guys closed in from both sides. Pinned against the wall, literally zero escape. But then, right behind the goons, a freezing cold voice echoed, let her go. Come at me instead. Zhang Hua looked up in total disbelief. Zhao Shuning, one working arm, gripping a crowbar, her face super pale, just standing there like she walked straight off a blockbuster action poster. And right behind her, Yang Ting, the girl who was trembling like a leaf this whole time, actually followed. They were supposed to run away. Instead, they actually returned. Wang Yongbin spun around, a huge grin spreading. I remember you, fighter girl. Impressive moves earlier. Her eyes were ice. Impressive enough to end you. Wang Yongbin cracked his knuckles. 3 girls teaming up? Cute. Zhao Shuning didn't wait. She charged forward. S-rank agility fully activated. She ran 100 meters in 12.5 seconds. Now rocking a crazy 5 times speed boost. She was a blur. Clang. Her crowbar fiercely met Wang Yongbin's hastily raised arm. That massive impact echoed across the entire floor. But fire beat speed, and she only had one working arm, which is exactly why it was incredibly perfect timing that I was just 90 seconds away, sprinting at absolute top speed with the heavy axe, a crayfish girl, and 10 times the sheer strength of an average human being. Hang on, ladies, you and I know the cavalry is almost there. Here is exactly what I pieced together from Zhang Hua's wild story today. Zhao Shuning launched herself straight at Wang Yongbin's crew like an absolute one-armed guided missile. S-rank agility, 5 times speed. She was just a blur of leather jacket and combat boots. But she didn't reach the fire guy first. His buddy blocked her. A balding, sturdy construction worker within a ranked talent called hardened rebar. Dude was literally swinging a huge 5-foot steel bar that appeared during his awakening. Not a random weapon, a talent weapon. Zhao Shuning's left hand was not strong enough. That impact nearly split her grip open. But instead of falling back, she perfectly used the rebound force to spin, crunching her heavy boot heel into a flanking attacker's kneecap. Crack. Down he went, loudly screaming. Then, Zhang Hua quickly tossed her the short knife. Zhao Shuning caught it midair, leaped, and swiftly struck the guy down in one single motion. Pure S-rank agility, fully in action with a blade in her hand. She was practically untouchable. Normal people could not even track her movements. 2 more down. But Wang Yongbin was smarter than he looked. He aimed his fire not at Shuning, but directly at Yang Ting, the quiet, trembling girl. The absolute weak link. Zhao Shuning saw it and hit the brakes. Her body overrode her brain. Watch closely, she dove to protect Yang Ting instead of attacking, which was exactly what Wang Yongbin wanted. He flipped his palm straight toward Zhao Shuning mid-dodge. She was totally caught between motions. Old momentum spent. New momentum not ready. Blazing fire filled her entire vision. And then, Yong Ting bravely jumped right in front. The fireball hit Yong Ting dead center, instantly turning clothes and hair to ash. She dropped, turning to ash at Zhao Shuning's feet. Gone. That shy, trembling girl, who was too terrified to hold a flashlight straight, had bravely thrown herself into a blazing furnace, saving someone she knew for under an hour. Zhao Shuning got blasted by the shockwave anyway. Severe burns and cracked ribs. She was barely standing. Wang Yongbin wiped his mouth, heavily, panting. The fire had drained him too. His face was pale from energy loss, but he was still grinning. Two beautiful girls, one down, one completely cornered, plus Zhang Hua pinned against a wall. Now then, ladies, who goes first? His two surviving lackeys were drooling. The film guy smirked. Boss, we only ever see beautiful actresses on TV. Yeah, when you finish, can I get a turn? Zhang Hua closed her eyes. She was totally out of tricks, out of weapons, and out of time. If I wasn't coming, she'd already decided to end it all before letting them touch her. That is when the crazy sound started. Thud. Something really heavy hitting the floor downstairs. Thud. Another one. Who are you? Arg. Screaming. Then silence. Wang Yongbin turned. From the dark stairwell shadows, echoing heavy footsteps. Slow, deliberate, totally like someone who had absolutely zero reason to rush. I walked up those stairs with my red-stained fire axe dripping a small trail behind me. Those two guys Wang Yongbin posted downstairs as lookouts, already fully handled. It took about 4 seconds combined. Zhang Hua's head instantly snapped up. Now, trust me, you and I are gonna laugh at this. Because she looked at me like I got a makeover. Later quoting, you just seemed hotter somehow. Adrenaline is one heck of a filter. I simply glared at Wang Yongbin and his two remaining goons. Stick with me here. We see Jiang Hua pinned, then Zhao Shuning barely conscious, covered in terrible burns, still gripping her knife, ready to fight until the very bitter end. Since you couldn't pick who goes first, I casually said, how about we just start with you? Zhaoan stared at me. She was totally thinking, so this is Zhang Hua's mystery teammate. But why bother? I am S rank and got absolutely wrecked. What can one more guy do? Jiang Hua screamed. Xin Wu, he controls flames. Yeah, I noticed. Thanks a lot. Wang Yongbin fiercely snarled. What happened to my guys downstairs? Wiped out. His face twitched. Then he laughed. That specific laugh people do when they are absolutely furious. You have guts, kid. Real guts. Taking out my boys. You don't understand the huge danger you are in. Then my 3 girls came rushing up the stairs behind me. Lai Mingyao, Wang Mingming, and Ding Yusen, all panting, immediately horrified by the terrifying scene. The 2 lackeys' eyes lit up like slot machines. Bingji, 3 more, all gorgeous. I claim the one in the little skirt. Man, just look at those beautiful legs. All 3 girls shrank behind me like a human shield. Which, honestly, I was the absolute best human shield that money could never possibly buy. Wang Yongbin pulled his attention right back to me and cracked his neck. Kid, defeating old Su means you have some decent skill, so I will be straight with you. He casually raised his palm. Fire bloomed. Bright, hot, hungry. S rank talent. Named exactly after my son's lighter. I control these flames. S rank fire manipulation. Confirmed. Literally the worst possible matchup for a close combat fighter like me. Fire ignores your stats. Fire does not care if you were 10 times stronger. Fire just heavily burns. But you know exactly what. I had already lost my life once because I was too careful, too generous, and too afraid to take big risks. I gripped my axe tighter. Now watch closely. Time to see if raw muscle beats a flamethrower. Let's be real, kid. You totally lack the build to actually take me on. Wang Yongbin said that with the fireball dancing in his palm, heating the entire corridor up like a blazing pizza oven. Then he smiled. Tell you what, I will be generous today. Leave the women. Leave the supplies. Walk away safely. Fair deal. I stopped walking. He took that as consideration. Just say yes, and everyone leaves happy. I looked straight at him. How about I just snap your neck instead? That would make me happy. The 2 lackeys absolutely erupted. The nerve. Burn him to ash, boss. Fry this punk. Wang Yongbin poured everything into his right hand. The fireball swelled, compressed, and intensely swelled again. He was charging up the biggest shot he had, meant to reduce me to charcoal. Then he foolishly started monologuing. Kid, you're just a student. You do not understand the real world. Slap. One open-handed backhand. Full constitution. 100. Wang Yongbin literally left the ground. His entire body spun through the air like a ragdoll in a washing machine and violently cratered into the far wall. Dust and plaster exploded absolutely everywhere. The fireball fizzled instantly. Nobody saw that coming. 1 second, we were exchanging threats. Next second, the fire guy was deeply embedded in drywall, exactly like a cartoon character. Benji, are you okay? That guy is a dirty fighter. He attacked during a conversation. Absolutely no honor. You are a gang of middle-aged men trying to assault college girls. Save me the fake ethics lecture. You and I see it too. Zhaowen's eyes widened. She understood immediately. This was not skill. This was pure overwhelming stats. I had not used any technique, no martial arts. Just a slap so powerful it launched a grown man right across the hallway. She was doing mental math, trying to figure out what kind of body could ever generate that massive force. Dang. Yen relaxed, shuffled forward half a step, and whispered, Chunu, so amazing. Jianghua, still catching her breath against the wall, snapped into serious commander mode. Mingming, go quickly check on Zhaowen. There are medical supplies waiting inside the shared backpack. I confidently walked toward the remaining 2 goons. Axe ready, planning to completely finish Wang Yongbin on the way. Then the defeated man moved. Wang Yongbin erupted off the floor in a desperate last stand. His skin turned crimson red. Tiny flames suddenly burst right from his pores. He did not care about backlash. Didn't care about burning himself alive. He was a human bomb. Fall. The explosion of fire was 10 times stronger than anything before. It swallowed him completely whole and launched right at me. Shinyu. Dodge. He's going for mutual destruction. Honestly, I never expected this cockroach to survive that slap. Any normal person's skull would have totally caved in. His fire talent must have somehow given him some passive durability. But here's the thing about Grand Perceptor Vessel. My body isn't just extremely strong, it is resistant. 10 times the endurance, 10 times the recovery, and 10 times the absolute tolerance for pain. I stepped forward, confidently locked on, and drove the axe straight through his chest. Finished. But his residual flame still splashed onto me. My expensive tactical jacket, the one I spent 40,000 yuan on, carbonized instantly. The shirt underneath, gone, just ash. My skin turned red, exactly where the fire touched. Hurt about as much as a mild sunburn. That is it. Wang Yongbin's terrifying Apocalypse Grade S rank fire attack. What do you and I learn here? Flames that turned others to ash just gave me a sunburn. Note to self, handle fire users from range next time. That honestly shocked me for a second. I stood there half shirtless, arms wrecked, but visibly healing in real time. Stick with me here. 10 times recovery speed is absolutely wild. Those nasty burns would vanish in minutes. My most expensive outfit burned away. I was currently looking just like an epic action movie poster. Shredded clothes, messy axe, healing skin, standing over a fully defeated fire wielder. Not exactly my planned entrance. But I noticed every single girl in the room had gone completely silent, just staring wide-eyed right at my glowing physique. Wang Mingming and Deng Yusen did that classic thing where you pretend you are not looking, but you absolutely are. Lie. Mingao just squinted, trying to remember something. Did I feed him this well when dating? I do not remember. Abs. No, sweetheart, you surely did not. A 600-year-old dragon throne custom built this body. Thanks for the attention. The most stunned person was Zhao Shuning. Her teammate had fallen to those exact flames. She herself got burned so badly she nearly passed out cold. She knew from deep personal agony exactly how devastating Wang Yongbin and his fire was. And I just tanked it like a simple warm breeze. You're Chin Yu? She asked from the floor. Small talk happens later. 2 more rats to handle. The final 2 remaining goons looked at each other. Watched this carefully. They just saw their boss smashed into a wall, axe through his chest, and his desperate final fireball shrugged off like a tiny little mosquito bite. Their options were run, surrender to the guy who had not spared a single person yet, or choose to fight. They chose to fight because apparently tonight, everyone decided to make the absolute worst possible choices. Alright, let us go. They fiercely charged. I casually raised my axe. This would not take long. 2 more. Absolute idiots. 2 more seconds. Chop. Chop. I swept their feet before they could even swing. The rebar guy looked tough on paper, a rank-hardened rebar talent, a large steel bar, construction worker muscles, against Constitution, 100. He could not lift his weapon before my epic axe arrived. It is like bringing a simple baseball bat to fight a speeding freight train. They instantly collapse down, completely helpless. Public backpack, personal backpack, empty them. Give me absolutely everything. The rebar guy actually tried to negotiate with me. Backpack, dream on. I will never chop. Axe right into his ankle stump. Arg. I said backpack. Empty it. Give it. Chop. Every single time he started a sentence with I, he lost another piece of leg. It was exactly like a totally wild game show where the wrong answer cost a limb. The other guy watched this happen and literally wet himself. The terrible smell was highly memorable. Lai Ming Yao and the girls covered their noses and looked away. Even I will admit it was getting a bit intensely graphic. I will talk. Chop. I'm trying to talk. I stopped. He was sobbing, absolutely furious, and missing most of his legs. I wanted to say yes from the very first chop, but you never gave me a chance. You know what? Fair point. I might have been chopping on pure autopilot there. My bad. Fine. 3 seconds. Everything out, or I make you into 18 separate pieces. 3. I never reached 2. You and I know what happens next. Supplies erupted like pinatas. Mountains of loot materialized on the floor. Cases of water. 16 boxes of instant noodles. Compressed biscuits. Canned meat, beer, lure, batteries, lighters, rope, underwear, and knives. These guys raided hard. A decent haul. But what caught my eye was resting in the corner. A dark brown block. A silver gray brick. A glowing translucent bundle. Cool building materials. I touched each one. 30 wood. 15 fabric. 20 glass. 1 low-grade energy core. Same composition as the bronze chest. Dang, you opened. These construction thugs had found a treasure chest too. Please do not end us. We gave you everything. I just nodded thoughtfully. You did good. I will give you something quick. Huh? Axe. Axe. Done. Look, in my last life, I let people go, and they came back causing problems every single time. Mercy on the survival road is just a delayed massive game over. These awful men burned a girl alive, tried assaulting Jianghua, and would have done the same to every woman in my group, leaving them alive with their talents and grudges? Not mercy, just stupidity. I walked over and carefully helped Zhongwani stand up. You okay? She shook her head. I am fine, but your skin up close. The fire damage looked much worse than it felt. Red, peeling, angry, but already healing. In 10 minutes, it would be gone. 10 times recovery rate turns major burns into a mild inconvenience. I am fine. Go sort the loot. I will check the others. I walked over to where Lai Minggao and Wang Mingming had carefully bandaged Hoing. She was sitting against the wall, beaten up, burned, one arm wrecked. But those eyes were still sharp. Zero self-pity, all business. And honestly, she was extremely gorgeous. Even banged up like this, she could have walked right into any Film Academy audition and turned heads. Cream dress, black leather jacket, and combat boots like a fashion editorial that went through a war zone. Trust me, we will love her. Zhao Shuning. 7th Dan S rank agility. Star, speed. Burst straight to the point. Absolutely no small talk. I love that confidence. So what is your talent? She asked right away. Smiling, I gestured to the girls. They can explain. You and I both know how this goes. The entire group completely clammed up in absolute silence. Zhao Shuning just raised an eyebrow. They are not talking. Top secret? Honestly, I just wanted them to do the talking for me. This was not a loyalty test, but they seriously treated my words like a trap to see who would leak. Highly classified intel. My squad was incredibly well trained, almost too much. I sighed. I can see the future. Zhao Shuning looked absolutely shocked. See the future? That sounds completely absurd. Where exactly were you when everything fell apart? I told her to stop asking so much. Being too curious gets people eliminated. She shrugged her good shoulder. Whatever. My whole squad is gone now. I'm completely solo. Might vanish tomorrow anyway. You will not fall easily. You are S rank. She exhaled. Being S rank means absolutely nothing when you face an S rank fire user on day 1. I almost roasted. I wanted to say her luck was just spectacularly terrible. Out on the real survival road, our ranks are truly elite. The system threw her into a boss fight during the tutorial phase. Once things settle, she will be an absolute beast. Deng Yusin chimed in. Chen Yu, we have space. Could Xuaning join our van? Shaking my head, I explained that vehicle rules forbid new passengers currently. That feature unlocks at a later station. Honestly true. Passenger recruitment remains closed for a few more stops. For now, Zhao Xuaning had to fly solo. Zhang Wanui returned. Supplies are all sorted. Perfect. Time is nearly up. No more chests around. Let us head back to the van. I need to decode this entire vehicle upgrade system. Li Mingyao and Wang Mingming practically cheered. They had experienced enough wild adventure for one lifetime. Just one night out here, and our rundown minivan suddenly felt like an absolute paradise. No spooky monsters, no fiery villains, no scary injuries, just torn seats and gasoline. Now, watch closely, they have no clue what awaits. I gave Zhao Xuaning one final look as we departed. S-rank agility. 7th Dan martial artist. Totally fearless, and zero quit in her. She will return. The survival road always manages to bring capable people together. Plus, I had a very specific opening in my squad for someone who could move 5 times faster than, literally, anyone else. But first, vehicle upgrades. My bag was completely loaded with enough building materials to turn our basic van into an absolute beast. Shopping time. Zhang Wanui hugged Zhao Xuaning before departing. Hope I see you again on this survival road. Zhao Xuaning nodded. Same. She looked at me. And you? Thank you. Next time we meet, I will definitely repay you. I kept walking. Just try not to owe me more favors next time. She was S-rank, stunning, and could defeat trained fighters with just one working arm. I desperately wanted her, but system rules restricted adding any new passengers for now. A few more stops, and that upgrade unlocks. Until then, Zhao Xuaning must travel alone. You and I know she is tough. Girls who defeat 2 massive guys with a crowbar despite a severe arm injury simply refuse to fall. Back at the van, fresh seating chart. Row 1, Zhang Wanui. Row 2, Deng Yusin. All alone. Ex-boyfriend's seat now highly available. Row 3, Yi Ming Yao and Wang Mingming, leaving Zhang Zhehe's spot totally vacant. I pushed my chair back, basically going full recline. Deng Yusin was right there, giving me a nice arm massage. I tried dropping hints to Zhang Wanui about doing my legs, but she completely ignored it. Hey, a guy can definitely dream. Speaking of Zhang Wanui, I literally rescued her, and she felt super grateful. Yet my exclusive Red Phoenix system still refused to tag her. Not even a basic subconscious safety connection formed. Her emotional firewalls were fortified exactly like a strict military bunker. Respectable, honestly, but also frustrating. Then the system chimed in brightly. Exploration complete. All survivors return to vehicles. 300-second countdown, followed by an extremely safe road segment. Done. Vehicle E9, 2, 3 has survivors. Owner. Election open. Everyone votes. Majority wins. 180 seconds. Owners get driving assignments, key decisions, and total vehicle authority. Zhang Wanui did not even hesitate. Here, do we really need to vote? Chen Yu, you are the owner. I will drive. I blinked. You drive? Got my license right after college exams. This girl was full of surprises. Class Mana, or rank water talent, creating emergency signals using backpack inventory. Plus she drives. If she ever activated as a Red Phoenix, I might just actually retire. Li Mingyao and Wang Mingming were practically shrinking in their seats, desperately calculating their worth. B rank disguise. D rank clockwatching. Cannot drive. Cannot battle. Cannot produce resources. Their sheer anxiety was visible from space. Zhang Wanui noticed and smiled warmly. Hey, I will teach you both how to drive. This path could be endless. I cannot solo drive forever. Their eyes lit up so bright. Yes, thank you. Deng Yusin raised her hand quickly. Me too, of course. The girls chatted while those 180 seconds ticked away. I won unanimously. Trust me, you will love where we go next. Alright, stick with me here. Last time, the owner vote was a total mess. This time, unanimous on round 1. Eliminate the problems early, and things go smoothly. Vehicle E923. Owner, Shunu. All permissions are fully activated. Then the real system announcement dropped. Vehicles are fully passenger operated. Stop, exit, and explore freely, but hit the next station before time runs out. Upgrade system unlocked. Disasters will happen randomly. The closer to that next station, the weaker the disasters get. We can literally hop on and off anytime. Absolute freedom. But what kind of disasters, exactly? Before anyone could guess, an epic ice disaster erupted. Zone temperature dropping to -40°C in 180 seconds. It keeps dropping. Vehicle insulation insufficient. Upgrade instantly or escape the freezing zone. -40. Even the coldest winters aren't this bad. So much for freedom. The very first thing that happens is we freeze solid. Frost was rapidly crystallizing across the windows, fast as a winter time lapse. But honestly, I was secretly feeling a tiny bit relieved. Last time, the first disaster was silent. Toxic gas, completely invisible. By the time you even noticed, your entire body was already shutting down. Now pay attention. This is wild. Half the bus wiped out by Station 3. Nobody even saw it coming. At least you can fight the freezing cold. You cannot fight invisible gas. Gene 1, step on it. Maximum speed. Let's go. Get us out of here. She gripped that steering wheel, eyes wide in shock. She volunteered to drive, expecting a nice, easy road trip. Not an epic sprint through a flash-freezing apocalypse. Surviving at 140 kilometers per hour in a busted minivan. Welcome to the job. Deng hugged herself, Keith chattering. Just drive. It's getting colder. Jiang Wanhua closed her eyes for 3 whole seconds. Boom. The van launched forward. Outside, the entire wasteland was turning into an ice planet. Blue fog rolled across everything. Frost completely devoured the landscape. The intense cold punched right through the van's thin walls like absolute paper. Wang Mingming shivered violently. We packed clothes, but only basic summer gear. No winter coats. Here, Lai Minga curled into a tiny ball. Just put on everything we have. But I barely noticed the cold, because I was staring at the most beautiful system screen I had ever seen in my life. Current vehicle, small minivan. Materials include lots of wood, iron, parts, 15 fabric, 20 glass, and low-grade drops. 133 energy cores. Upgrade categories include space expansion, structural reinforcement, environmental systems, plus control, energy, power, and special facilities. Nearly 4,000 wood, 2,000 iron, over 2,600 parts and cores. Most survivors on this road were completely destroying each other over just a few materials. I literally had thousands. All thanks to Red Phoenix and her massive 130 times multiplier opening one single bronze chest. She alone did this. If I filled this van with more girls like her, tagging and looting chests for me, I would have enough materials to turn this minivan into an absolute starship-level fortress. But first things first, the temperature was rapidly plummeting toward instant game over territory. My passengers were turning blue, and our tin can vehicle had the insulation of a soggy wet napkin. You and I both know what time it is. Time to turn this rusty van into the most overpowered fortress on the road. Let us build something epic. First priority, space. This junk minivan was way too small for my plans. More girls means more amazing loot multipliers for the whole squad. But I cannot recruit anyone if there is nowhere to sit. I opened the upgrade menu, heading straight to space expansion. Basic expansion 1, 500 wood, 250 iron, 200 parts. Stretches the interior, fitting 7 entire people. Slightly bigger trunk, 5 extra backpack slots. Frame extension 1, 1200 wood, 600 iron, 450 parts. Transforms the minivan into a small bus. 12 standard seats, flexible layout zones, and 15 extra backpack slots. Requires basic expansion first. Materials sufficient for both. I did not hesitate. Boom. Boom. 2 instant upgrades. Cute, right? I am upgrading the vehicle, I announced. Do not know how it looks yet. Brace yourselves, Jianghua. Eyes on the road. Got it. The van instantly started vibrating. Walls shifted, ceiling stretched, seats rearranging like actual living furniture. Metal groaned loudly. The girls were clutching each other, eyes wide as plates, watching their tiny bread van physically transform right around them. When the intense shaking finally stopped, we were sitting inside a small bus. 12 seats, 2x2 layout, 6 rows, center aisle, 2 meters of headroom. Actually very comfortable. Wang Mingming, wearing extra layers, gasped at the interior. We completely changed vehicles. So many seats. Lai Mingao quickly counted. 12 seats, and only 5 of us. Deng Yusin breathed out a thick cloud of fog. No wonder it feels completely empty and much colder. So what do you and I learn from this? Upgrading the space without fixing the temperature is like buying a mansion with absolutely zero heating. Next up, structural reinforcement. I dumped another 1,100 wood, 500 iron, and 100 parts into 2 major upgrades. The bus frame instantly hardened. Stick with me. The real move was environmental control. The menu showed dozens of freezing options. Basic ceilings, simple insulation, emergency gap filling, all designed for desperate people scraping by with almost zero materials. I scrolled right past all of that garbage. Internal insulation layer 1, 400 wood, 10 fabric, 100 parts. Full thermal lining with massive heat retention. Constant temperature life support system 1, 50 energy cores, 200 iron, 150 parts. Independent climate control maintains a livable temperature even in extreme cold. 50 energy cores. Just let that sink in. A normal team opens a chest and gets 1 core if lucky. You would need 50 chests just for this single upgrade. No team in their right mind would even look at this option early on. It honestly should have been completely grayed out. Impossible, right? But I had 133 cores. All thanks to Deng Yusin and her insane multiplier, turning 1 single core into massive upgrades. The walls shimmered. A matte gray-white material coated every interior surface. Watch closely. The biting cold stopped like someone closed a door on winter. The girls noticed immediately. What is? I held up a finger. Shush. Wait. A low hum started beneath the floorboards. Then warm air. Actual warm air flowing from newly appeared vents, spreading evenly throughout the entire bus. The temperature display rapidly climbed like a stock chart. Negative 25 degrees, negative 10, 0, 18 degrees. Then it fully stabilized. 16 degrees, while the outside got colder. But 16 degrees is perfect room temperature in a light sweater. That is completely livable. Oh my god. Deng Yusin let out a breath that was no longer freezing white fog. She ripped off 2 of her 3 emergency jackets and actually smiled. I thought I was going to freeze completely. It is warm. Wang Mingming looked like she had been resurrected. Qinyu, what did you do? How is our vehicle so different? Jiang Wanyua excitedly called out from the driver's seat. Those building materials in the shared backpack, were they enough for all of this? She was getting very suspicious. Smart girl. She knew the math completely failed to add up. The few dozen materials Deng Yusin had publicly deposited could not possibly fund this insane level of vehicle renovation. This was like watching someone buy a Ferrari with just pocket change. The backpack materials were not enough, I admitted. The real key was my talent. Everyone paused. My talent? Future vision. What does prophecy have to do with building materials? I just grinned. I can see the future, which obviously includes hidden resource locations. I found some extras. Technically not a lie. Technically not the complete truth, either. The real source was Red Phoenix returns. Dang. Yusin opened 1 chest, and I got 130 times the contents. But they did not need to know that. Lie. Minga covered her mouth. How much did you spend on these upgrades? I just counted on my fingers. About 3,000 wood, 1,000 iron, 1,000 parts, a few dozen energy cores. Give or take. The bus went totally silent. Then 3 voices screamed completely simultaneously. Deng Yusin, 3,000 wood. Lai Mingyao, 1,000 iron. Wang Mingming, 1,000 parts. Jiang Wanyuan nearly swerved the moving bus. Dozens of energy cores. And I still had 790 wood, 430 iron, 1,640 parts, and 83 energy cores left. Enough to make most survival teams on this highway commit crimes to steal. I spent a huge fortune and still had a fortune. All from 1 Red Phoenix, 1 girl, 1 chest, and 1 incredible 130 times multiplier. The girls were looking at me like I just invented fire. Dang. Yin's eyes were literally sparkling. Shinyu, you are completely amazing. I leaned back in my upgraded, insulated, climate-controlled 12-seat minibus, letting the warm air wash over me. Outside, negative 40 degrees and dropping. An apocalypse ice storm. Absolute doom in every direction. Inside, 16 degrees, comfortable seating, heated floors, and 4 girls who thought I was a god. We both know I could get used to this survival road. The girls stared at me with full worship mode eyes. I totally get it. 1 minute we are turning to solid ice. The next we are cruising in a heated minibus. That is a big mood swing, but I had to keep their expectations realistic. Do not celebrate yet. If the class monitor cannot keep up the speed, the heating dies and we are popsicles again. Everyone shivered in perfect unison. Instant motivation. Lai Minggao immediately pledged driving lessons. Wang Mingming completely backed her up. Even Ding Yusen raised her hand. Jiang Wanyuan now had 3 eager students who, 10 short hours ago, could not be bothered to learn parallel parking. Amazing what sub-zero survival threats do for class enrollment numbers. I lay down on my reclined bus seat, which honestly felt absolutely incredible compared to the old torn minivan seats, and happily let Den Yusen work on my shoulders. You and I have to admit, say what you will about Jiang Zahio's character, his taste in girlfriends was impeccable, sweet, with magic hands, top-tier Red Phoenix material. Let's dive into this wild survival trip. Chinu, what's the next station like? She asked, worried. I didn't even open my eyes. I promised you'd survive, so you'll survive. She beamed brightly. Okay, I know you'll protect me. Behind us, Lai Minggao and Wang Ming. Ming watched all of this with totally complicated expressions. Translation: pure jealousy, simmering at medium heat. Wang Ming elbowed Li Mingyao and whispered softly, I don't want to vanish either. Can I go talk to him too? Li Mingyao just gave her a completely flat look. You literally threw yourself at him offering leg massages 2 hours ago, and he completely shut you down. Wang Mingming huffed in frustration. What does Ding Yin have that I don't? My figure's way better. Lai Minga shook her head. That guy has always been totally single-minded. When he chased me, it was the same. Once he locks on, everyone else turns invisible. Wang Mingming's eyes instantly sparked with scheming energy. Minga, you're his ex. That's not a weakness. That's an asset. Stop being so proud. This is the apocalypse. Use that shared history. Li Minggao nervously glanced my way. The guy who used to buy her absolutely everything without asking. The guy who followed her every command. Now, he looked at her exactly like he looked at furniture. Total regret. Her intestines were literally turning green. Out of all days to dump someone, she chose right before the apocalypse. Now watch closely, because if that isn't cosmic trolling, then nothing is. No, she sighed heavily. If I throw myself at him, it will just annoy him. Wang Mingming was not giving up, though. I could practically hear her brain ticking. He's a man. Every man has weaknesses, girl. My personal weakness? Crayfish and rare building materials. Yeah, good luck with that. Then the system drops something new. Global communication channel activated. A transparent chat window popped up in everyone's vision. Names, texts, even image sharing. It was basically an ultimate apocalypse group chat. What is this? A chat box. There's a chat function. Messages were rapidly flooding in from across our school's channel. What the heck is this? Anyone there? We are freezing. No warm clothes. Any spares? One girl literally posted a photo of herself stranded outside. Her teacher had driven off, abandoning her right in the ice storm. Then that teacher popped up in chat, replying, you should have listened to my instructions. Drama. Absolutely instant drama. But what really caught my eye was the tiny icon next to the chat button. A trading function. Hey, you can actually trade through this thing. Anyone got food? I have cigarettes. Who has extra water? Let's trade. People were already frantically bartering. Cigarettes for noodles. Water for batteries. The wild apocalypse economy was being born in real time. You and I know exactly what's happening next. Lai Minggao suddenly appeared, proposing, Chinu, I scored over 120 in math on exams. I can be your accountant. I blinked. You want to do what? Handle trades, manage inventory, be the team's chief financial officer. I just stared at her. So basically, you want to give yourself a job to actually feel useful. Never let it be said that I lack bluntness. But honestly, she had a point. People without purpose spiral fast in survival situations. And I actually needed someone managing trades while I focused on the big picture. Fine, I said. You are in charge of the shared backpacks and trade goods. First assignment, buy hot pot base. Buy what? Hot pot base seasoning for cooking. What else would I mean? Jiang Hua called from the driver's seat. We packed a pot like you asked, but this bus has zero electricity. Even if we get ingredients, I waved her off. I'll handle the electricity. You guys handle the shopping. Tonight, I want to see hot pot base, lamb, and iced tea on the table. Then I closed my eyes and went back to sleep. Behind me, total silence, then confused whispering. Hot pot base, lamb, and iced tea. It is the literal apocalypse, and he wants hot pot. Is this man serious right now? Oh, I was completely serious. Last time around, I survived on stale crackers and rationed water until I faded away. This life? I have unlimited crayfish, a heated bus, a red phoenix multiplier, and thousands of reserve building materials. If I can't even eat hot pot during the apocalypse, then what was the point of returning from the very end? Tonight means lamb hot pot with spicy crayfish on the side, and ice-cold tea to wash it down in a climate-controlled bus, while -40-degree fatal frost rages outside. That's exactly how you do the apocalypse. I wasn't actually sleeping. My eyes were fully closed, but I was scrolling through the newly opened global chat channel like an absolute madman. Messages flying everywhere. People panicking about the freezing cold. People begging for supplies. People posting photos of their frozen vehicles. Standard apocalypse social media. Then I finally saw it. Jiangzi Shuan. Hi, everyone. I'm the president of the debate club. Our team isn't on a minivan. We're on a bus, so we have a lot of people. This means we need large quantities of bottled water. If anyone can trade, please DM me. We can totally negotiate. Some random dude immediately replied, Janji Shuan, the famous campus beauty, you're alive. Post a photo. Classic internet. The world is ending and simps are still simping. But stick with me here, my veins froze reading her name. 3 characters. Stick with me here, because you and I are about to meet the absolute worst ex in history. Jean Zen, 57 guys, pregnant, and having the sheer nerve to claim the kid was his. The woman he handed everything to, his talent, resources, utter devotion, and her payback. She literally got him wiped off the map. So, you actually survived. I muttered to myself. Well, of course you did. Pests like her always somehow make it. Part of me just wanted to punch right through that chat screen instantly, but the other half was hyped, because when we finally cross paths, I will have a heated bus, 2 SSS tier talents, Constitution level 100, and a deadly axe. She would have 57 EXCs and a massive debt she could never repay. I quickly pushed those thoughts away. Station 2 was approaching fast, and from my past life, I knew this was where the survival game turned totally ruthless. Station 1 was merely the tutorial. 2 was the real test. Whatever we ended up facing would be absolutely brutal. My current priority list was incredibly simple. Survive. Keep the Red Phoenix companions safe. Protect the class. Monitor. Lai Ming Yao and Wang Ming Ming. Who else? Half joking there. Ding Yusen clearly sensed my dark aura, making her massage gentler. I slowly turned around. Wang Ming Ming. Your turn. Massage until dinner time. Stop even once, and expect consequences. Ding Yusen protested. I can keep going. I told her to just rest. Good girl. Wang Ming Ming totally jumped at the chance. No problem. My technique is fantastic. I do this for my mom constantly. She had absolutely no clue. She honestly thought she was getting promoted here. Now pay attention here. I was furious about Jean, so I targeted the most annoying person on this entire bus for payback. Kneeling down, she started working my shoulders. Her sweet perfume drifted over. Decent effort. Good angle, but I simply commanded, go harder. She pushed harder. Still too weak. She tried again. Nothing. She bit her lip, arms completely trembling, with sweat pouring down. 10 minutes later, she was panting heavily. Constitution level 10 versus Constitution level 100 shoulders. It was like massaging solid concrete. Can I rest? Just 1 minute. I slightly opened one eye, glaring right down at her. Sweating, exhausted, her clothes clinging from the sheer effort, I coldly replied, no stopping. That means consequences. Smack. Not the face, but her backside. She suddenly yelped out loud. Why hit me? Consequences. You completely stopped moving. Huge problem. Her face turned bright red like a fire truck, nervously glancing back. Lai Ming Yao and Ding Yusen were instantly staring straight out the window. That awkward, deliberate ignoring where, you know they saw absolutely everything. Wang Ming Ming swallowed her absolute pride. No problem. Then, the system chimed. Red Phoenix identified. Wang Ming Ming is Phoenix number 2. Connection type, domestication bond. Depth level 1, times 10 multiplier. I know what you're thinking, but, yes, domestication bond. Not a trusting or emotional link. Pure domestication. Absolute, straight-up domestication. I glanced at Wang Ming, flushed red, kneeling there obediently. Honestly, the system was completely spot on. She had been totally domesticated, just like a wild cat that finally stopped scratching up the furniture. Her weird, precise timekeeping talent was basically useless for returns. No daily summons, zero actual resource generation. I would only get multiplied rewards whenever she opened chests or gained mission bonuses. But hey, 10 times 0 still beats nothing. Plus, it confirms something huge. Wang Ming had officially submitted. Stand up. Go assist Lai Mingyao with our shopping. She scrambled up, heavily relieved. Locating hot pot base won't be easy at all. Few teams packed apocalypse seasoning. I want results tonight. Oh, and Lai Mingyao? I raised my voice loud enough so the back row heard me. If our new accountant fails to find what I need, she'll face consequences too. Lai Mingyao's face went bright scarlet. She just witnessed what consequences looked like on Wang Ming. Now, she was vividly imagining the same exact treatment applied to her. Part of her was absolutely terrified, but another part felt something else she definitely didn't want to analyze yet. Meanwhile, I had my own shopping to handle. Browsing the main public channel, a specific listing caught my eye. Young Kursanen posted, "Hey everyone, I have a heavy-duty octagonal hammer, 1 meter long, 10-pound head. Found it back at the previous station. Incredibly practical weapon. Trade me decent food, and it is yours." She even included a picture. Solid black steel Versailles striking head, with anti-slip grip tape. A gorgeous weapon. Lots of players asked, but nobody bought. Way too expensive. I tapped the DM button. Is the hammer still available? Response in 1 second flat. Young Kursanen. Yes. You are literally the first to actually message me. Others are asking, so please hurry. I desperately need high-calorie food. Biscuits, chocolate, anything. Clean water too. We are basically out of supplies. A starving squad holding a premium-grade weapon, but nobody to trade with. And me sitting on mountains of food and water. I smiled. Trust me, you will love this part. Let's go shopping. The very first trade of the apocalypse. Me versus some girl using cute mini emojis. I locked onto her listing in the channel. A dance student named Yang Kursanen is selling a heavy octagonal hammer, 1 meter long, 10-pound steel head, anti-slip grip. You and I both know that is a beautiful tool for smashing obstacles. I messaged her immediately. The hammer is available. Yang Kursanen says to hurry up. Many people want it. She desperately needs some high-calorie food right now. We are totally starving. I offered 5 pounds of crayfish. Her team refused. Crayfish are not filling enough. 10 pounds. Hard to cook without kitchens. 15 pounds. Heavy silence. It is tempting, but they demanded 20 pounds. Yang Kursanen, you are totally crazy. Are those really all for us? I asked if we had a deal or not. Yes, deal. Only an idiot would refuse this. You are amazing. We were basically about to eat bark. I'm Yang Kursanen from dance class 2. What is your name? Me. Read the first 2 characters. Shinyu is sending the trade request now. The survival system handled it instantly. No flashy magic. The hammer popped into my backpack. 20 pounds of crayfish instantly vanished. Super clean transaction. Yang Kursanen. Goodbye. This girl communicated entirely through text. Emoticons. Totally terrifying. But honestly, that was only just the beginning. I went on a massive shopping spree. Spent another 90 pounds of crayfish across 5 deals. Scoring down jackets and warm fleece pants. Winter clothing during a frozen disaster is worth more than weapons. Sellers only traded them away if they were completely desperate. Why buy winter gear? I avoided. My body handled the extreme cold completely fine. The girls could not. If a system mission required leaving our bus, I absolutely needed Deng Yusen and Jiang Wanwu alive. One makes fresh water, the other summons crayfish that multiply into mountains of resources. They were completely irreplaceable. Frostbite was not an option. Meanwhile, my 2 teammates worked the trade channels. Lai Mingyao yelled out with pure excitement. Chen Wu, I found hot pot base. Only 2 packs of water bottles. Awesome. Then Wang Ming excitedly chimed in. I found a meat seller, but 1 pound costs 3 packs of water. I sat up slowly. How much water actually remains? 6 packs total. And how long does that actually last us? Maybe 6 or 7 days. When does the next station appear? Leo frowned. We do not know. Now pay attention. This is crucial. You almost spent our entire water supply without any guaranteed resupply point. Incredibly bold strategy. Were you trying to dehydrate the team? Both girls instantly froze like frightened deer. I waved my hand. Relax. Nobody is getting hurt over groceries. But listen, water is our most valuable survival resource on this road. Hot pot base is worth 1 bottle maximum. 1 pound of delicious lamb equals exactly 1 water pack. Go negotiate those exact prices. They will never agree. They will. They went, haggled hard, and the desperate sellers grumbled, but finally agreed. Because in this apocalypse, desperate players take whatever they get. Jiang Wanyua watched the entire exchange through the rearview mirror. I saw her mentally filing away every lesson. Good. She was learning fast. Next upgrade? Electrical power. I spent 80 parts and 2 energy cores on a brand new vehicle power module. Low voltage alternating current, 220 volts, 1500 watts max. Enough to run an electric pot. A power outlet materialized up front. Just like that, Jiang Wanyua parked. Everyone gathered around excitedly. The electric pot came out, and the water boiled. The hot pot base dissolved into a fragrant spicy broth. Lamb went in. Crayfish were fried on the side. We ate delicious hot pot inside a heated minibus, while -40-degree freezing storms violently raged right outside. You probably thought we were safe, right? Well, on day 2, I was mid-bite when a strange voice filled our bus. Not the system. A real man. Sad, totally broken, reading what sounded like a fading survivor's final journal. Cold. The glacier outpost felt like an iron cage. The geothermal prototype. Find one, and you survive. But I cannot move anymore. The freezing ice behind me is violently cracking. They are quickly catching up. The heat source is right there. I am lying beside it, but I completely refuse to move. Let the warm light hit my face like someone clinging to a final flickering candle. Silence. Our bubbling hot pot suddenly felt completely inappropriate. Wang Mengming completely froze with her chopsticks mid-air. That was not just me, right? Jiang Hua looked totally grim. Check the global chat. The trade channel instantly transformed from dealing resources into absolute, pure panic. What on earth was that voice? I nearly choked on my food. Is that an actual ghost from the glacier? Honestly, at this point, absolutely nothing would surprise me anymore. Then the system's cold, familiar robotic tone cut right through. Arriving at Glacier Research Outpost, I set down my chopsticks, staring out into the endless, frozen dark station. The tutorial was officially over. I grabbed the lamb back out of the pot and ate. Whatever insane challenge was coming next, I was not facing it on an empty stomach. The system announcement hit us mid-meal like a brutal bucket of ice water. Given our freezing circumstances, that was almost literal. Arriving at Glacier Research Outpost, mission sees a geothermal core prototype, 0 of 1, synchronized units online, 86 people left, chat disabled. Trust me, you and I are not ready for what happens next. Stick with me here, 10 teams, 3 prototypes, grab one, bring it back, and you win. The outpost is -40 degrees, with crazy absolute zero waves dropping to -80 for 5-minute bursts. Harvest heat-producing ferns for protection, but watch out for sound-hunting mutants. Total mission time, 12 hours flat. Don't make it back, you stay forever. No vehicles allowed on foot only. Suddenly, our hot pot tasted like pure anxiety. Jiang Wanyua hopped straight into the driver's seat. 1 hour to reach the rally point. Rolling out, Ding Yusen did quick math. 10 vehicles, 86 people. Around 8 or 9 per team. We only have 5. Lai Mingao did the math too. We have to walk in -40 for 12 hours. Stressing over 3 machines. Wang Mingming pinched her pressure points to stay awake. I'm totally done for. I'm actually a goner. Jiang Wanyua corrected her, flooring the accelerator. 12 hours total, counting the search, the battles, and the big escape. Faster means less suffering. Then Li Mingao asked what everyone was thinking. Shenyu, in that future you saw. Did we survive? I leaned back. I survived. Helpful as always. Ding Yusen hugged my arm. Did we get the prototype? I let a small smile slip. I saw a new heat source inside our bus. Not a straight answer, but enough to spark some hope. Sometimes morale beats facts, especially facts I totally made up on the spot. But then, I dropped the absolute biggest bombshell. You all missed the truly terrifying part of this mission. Everyone stared. 3 prototypes. 10 teams. I grabbed some lamb. That means at least 7 teams get absolutely nothing. And walking away empty-handed, the bus temperature somehow dropped 5 degrees despite the heater. Not physically, just pure emotional chill. Jianghua's voice cracked. So teamwork is completely impossible. Every single encounter is eliminate or be eliminated. I just kept eating. Now pay attention here. This wasn't a simple exploration mission at all. This was an all-out elimination game. 86 people entering a frozen elimination maze. The rules guarantee 70% wipeouts. The system wasn't just testing our survival skills. It was farming eliminations. And I drew this absolute nightmare on my second station. Some teams probably got easy cooperative missions. Me, a 10-way showdown out on a freezing glacier. My luck was spectacular, as always. Our bus roared across the icy plains. Through the mirrors, I spotted other headlights way off in the distance. Same exact route and destination. We arrived first. The rally zone was this flat clearing sitting right in front of a cluster of ice-covered gray buildings. Beyond them, deep crevice, glowing faint blue. The entrance to the actual outpost. Our new arena. Good driving. Now come eat. I told Jianghuanhua. She barely moved her chopsticks before other vehicles started pulling into the zone. Tires crunching on thick ice. Bright headlights piercing the heavy blizzard. Doors flying open, dumping bundled up figures straight into the freezing darkness. What the heck? Where are we? 12 hours out in this? Are they absolutely insane? Hey, you guys are the directing department, right? We're from fine arts, so it really is just all classmates from our own school. People tried breaking into the buildings for shelter, but everything was totally sealed shut with thick ice. Kicking didn't do a thing. You and I both know what's next. Everyone huddled, freezing near their vehicles. While Wang Mingming pressed her face against our window, playing scout. Shenyu, like that big SUV. Those are performance class 2 students. Lai Minga squinted. That mid-size bus looks like a mixed directing and sound design team. How is that even possible? Same club affiliation, maybe? I mentioned different departments, same organization. So many more vehicles, and way more unfamiliar faces. Wang Mingming pointed at a massive box truck. That's the director from the admin office. The guy who wanted to extend military training forever. Looks like he's running his team like a literal drill sergeant. Students were frantically unloading supplies under his barks, looking visibly terrified of him. Deng Yusin spotted some familiar faces too. Those girls over there, they're from the dance department. Jianghua was speed eating while scanning the massive gathering crowd with super sharp tactical eyes. Then she asked the smartest question. Chinu, if we stay inside while everyone freezes out there, won't that look incredibly suspicious? She was absolutely right. We were chilling in a heated, upgraded minibus, eating hot pot under electric lights, while 80 other people shivered outside in a raging blizzard. Staying hidden completely preserved our advantage. Stepping out meant showing everyone we were comfortable, well-fed, and looking suspiciously well-equipped. But staying invisible forever just wasn't an option either. In 40 minutes, the mission would begin, and everyone would see each other anyway. I grabbed another crayfish and just chewed on it thoughtfully. 86 people, 10 teams, 3 prizes, and 1 massive glacier full of monsters. And somewhere out there, Jiangzi Shuan was probably scheming her way to survival with the same ruthless instinct that completely ruined me in my last life. Trust me, you'll want to see this. The chessboard changed, and I hold the pieces. Come along with me. Zhang Wanyu raised a very fair point. Won't staying in here make us look super suspicious to everyone? Li Minga nodded. We are eating hot pot in absolute comfort while they freeze outside. If they find out, I finished my soup, wiped my mouth, and just shrugged. Good. I genuinely want them to notice. Everyone stared at me like I totally lost my mind. Here is the secret about survival games. Information is power, but intimidation is just as huge. If 81 strangers think you are just another freezing, starving team, you quickly become their prey. But if they think you are an apocalypse VIP living in pure luxury while they chew frozen crackers, that changes the whole game entirely. Intimidation costs absolutely nothing, so let us use it. Right on cue. Knock, knock. 3 guys appeared at our door. One of them was Zhao Bing from directing. Hey, everyone is gathered right now. Come out and plan. Director Yu is coordinating everyone. We should cooperate as classmates. Thankfully, our bus windows were previously upgraded to tinted. Super reinforced glass during structural reinforcement. They could not see anything inside. Now watch closely. They thought we were scared kids hiding in the dark. I cracked the passenger window to centimeters down. Whoosh! A massive wave of warm, humid, food-scented air blasted through that tiny gap like an erupting, spicy volcano. In the -40-degree cold, it instantly formed a huge white cloud of vapor that completely swallowed Zhao Bing's face. He stood there completely stunned, with steam rolling off his head like a human kettle. Through that tiny gap, he caught a glimpse inside. People in thin shirts, faces totally flushed from the heat. A bubbling pot of red chili oil in the aisle, and the rich smell of Sichuan hot pot flooding his nose. His brain totally crashed harder than Windows 95. I spoke calmly through the small gap. We are not teaming up. Thanks anyway. Window closed. Completely sealed shut. Zhao Bing stood right in the blizzard, jaw dropped. Just processing what he witnessed while his friends demanded answers. What did they say, bro? Why are you totally quiet? Zhao Bing coughed. They are eating hot pot. What? I saw it myself. Red spicy broth bubbling. They are wearing t-shirts. Faces are totally red. When the window opened, steam blasted out like a sauna. Honestly, he might as well have said they are hosting a wild pool party. The crowd's reaction was identical. Director Yu, the school administrator stuck in this wild survival game, marched over with his face literally turning purple. What do you mean they refuse? This is a major survival crisis. Where is their sense of teamwork? He stormed right toward our bus. 20-something angry students trailing behind him like a wild mob. Other teams quickly joined in too, pulled by the heavy force of outrage. We are freezing out here, and they are eating hot pot? Where did they even find fuel? We are classmates. How is this fair? Trust me, we all saw this coming. The classic share the wealth apocalypse argument. You have nice things, so you owe us. It worked fine in college. Group projects. Works even better starving in a blizzard when someone nearby smells like spicy chili oil. Director Yu fired up the crowd just like a politician at a rally. Come on, let us demand answers from them right now. Where is their basic sense of community? 20+ people marched straight to my bus, surrounding it in a tight semicircle. Director Yu raised his fist, completely ready to pound on the window, but stopped instantly. Taped to the inside glass was a handwritten paper, clear as day. Heated seats available for rent. 5 bottles of drinking water per minute, or 10 packs of compressed biscuits equivalent. Trades negotiable. Payment completely upfront. 0 credit, absolutely no exceptions. Director Yu's fist just hung right in midair, his mouth opening and closing like a goldfish. The massive crowd behind him went dead silent. 5 bottles per minute. That is 300 bottles an hour per seat. I had exactly 7 empty seats. Was it absurdly, criminally expensive? Absolutely. But was anybody actually going to pay it? In -40 degrees, after shivering for 30 minutes, with 12 hours of frozen misery ahead of them? You bet they would. I just leaned back in my toasty seat, picked up another juicy crayfish, and casually waited for my very first customer. Welcome to Shinyu Airlines. Boarding is officially open now. Please have your payment ready. Director Yu's fist was literally shaking in the air like an angry windshield wiper. He could not even form a complete sentence. Behind him, 20-something students were reading my little sign and totally losing their minds. Renting heated seats for water by the minute? 5 bottles a minute is pure robbery. 10 biscuit packs is our entire daily ration. Where is the humanity? We are classmates. Director Yu slammed his fist on the freezing window. Students inside, what is the meaning of this? Where is your compassion and community spirit? We are all in this together. Ah, yes. The typical, we are all together speech. You and I know the real translation. Just give me your free stuff. Stick with me here. This guy controlled our school's office by guilt-tripping students into pure obedience. Military drills, group punishment, weekend lectures, mandatory spirit. Now, he was pulling the same trick on a survival road in -40 degrees. Inside our cozy bus, Ding Yusen shrank into her seat. They seem furious. Jiang Wanyua didn't even stop packing gear. Classic Director Yu and his moral blackmail. He did this at school. I nodded. They aren't furious about our lack of teamwork. They are just mad that we are warm while they freeze. Wang Mingming shocked us all, flashing her old fiery personality. Let them freeze. Keep the doors shut. For a split second, the classic, sassy Wang Mingming officially returned. The exact girl who mocked me and stirred up endless drama. Honestly, I missed her annoying vibes. Gave me an excuse to humble her. Relax, I said. Empty seats are just wasted profit. Might as well grab some resources. Jianghua pointed out the real issue. If we do this, we become the biggest targets once the mission begins. I just smiled. Being top target requires actual weapons. Do they even have any? She paused. Fair point. What were they going to do? Throw snowballs? Plus, the system rules completely protected our vehicles. No ordinary passenger could damage a ride. They could kick, punch, and scream at the bus forever without leaving a single scratch. Inside the vehicle was an ultimate safe zone. Will they seriously pay? Dingusen wondered. Watch this closely. Give it 5 minutes. It only took 3. I will gladly pay. Let me in. Just 1 minute. A skinny guy broke away from his shivering group and threw himself at our door. Director Yu looked absolutely furious. I called out through the window. Name is Chan Yu. Find me on the regional channel. Send a trade request. Pay first. Sit second. Trade confirmed. The door opened. A blast of warm air. The guy dove inside like his life depended on it. Except completely the opposite. The door closed. 1 minute passed. He never stepped back out. The freezing crowd started whispering. Why is he not coming out? Is he okay inside? Man, when that door opened, I felt the intense heat from 10 feet away. My toes are totally frozen. Enter our second customer. A girl with purple skin and fogged up glasses. I'm trading too. Approve my request. The door cracked. She slid in. Door sealed. Third, fourth. Each person simply could not handle the freezing temperatures anymore, choosing warmth over empty pride. Then the real absolute chaos erupted. Wait, Wang Kai, did you steal from our shared backpack? Turns out the first guy who boarded had raided his team's shared supplies just to pay for his seat. And our second, third, and fourth customers had done the exact same thing. Zhao Yu, you traded our emergency water for a bus seat. We have a traitor. Someone took 3 water bottles and 2 meat rations. We are struggling out here saving every drop, and you sold us out for a warm chair. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. My pricing wasn't just grabbing resources. It was fracturing teams from within. Let that sink in. The people buying seats were stealing from their own groups, creating massive chaos, destroying trust, and weakening our competition. And all this before the mission even started. I didn't plan this exactly, but I wasn't complaining about the bonus. Some furious guys tried smashing our windows. System notification. Vehicles are completely immune to passenger damage. They punched reinforced glass until their knuckles scraped, achieved nothing, and just looked like idiots. Then, Director Yu made his move. I'll handle this personally. Everyone stay here. He submitted a trade request, likely using his team's precious supplies, and I let him board. The door opened. He stepped inside, and his entire worldview completely collapsed. The warm temperature hit him like a tropical vacation. His glasses fogged up completely. He pulled them off, wiped them, put them back on, and saw a pristine, spacious bus. Perfectly comfortable temperature. Students relaxing in thin clothing with healthy color in their cheeks. A half-eaten hot pot still sitting on a table in the center aisle. Steam rising lazily from leftover broth. Outside a frozen wasteland, inside Sunday brunch with a view. His mouth moved for a few seconds before words finally came out. How can you? You must share this. We are all students. These resources must be communal. He spun toward the customers sitting in the back. And you use team supplies to buy seats. Get out. I'm counting to 3. I opened my eyes. Are you threatening my paying customers, Director Yu? He froze. My tone was not a student talking to an administrator. It was a predator addressing something incredibly small and weak. The director was used to bossing around 18-year-olds who were terrified of getting bad grades. He was not used to being in a room with someone who had eliminated 11 FOs in the last 12 hours and was currently weighing the entertainment value of adding a 12th. You and I know better. This was my boss, my rules, and his collective spirit speech was hitting the solid brick wall of apocalypse. Capitalism. Director Yu puffed up like a massive balloon full of self-importance. Chinu, I am the administrative director of this school. In times of crisis, we need pure discipline and unity. You and I are about to witness an absolutely epic survival boss moment. Get off my bus, I commanded, standing tall as my fiery axe magically materialized in my hand. His mouth totally stopped working mid-sentence. Director, our school is gone. Your old title means absolutely nothing out here in this wild world. This is my vehicle, my rules. Your 1 minute of paid purchase time is almost completely up. So, pay for another minute or leave. Do you understand simple words? His face instantly went through about 14 hilarious shades of bright red. Do you have zero respect for elders? No sense of teamwork? I calmly walked toward him, holding the epic axe. 1 step, 2 steps, close enough to smell his cheap cologne. He immediately threw his hands up. Wait, please wait. I will gladly pay for more time. The students inside nearly burst out laughing. This guy stormed in, giving dramatic speeches about teamwork and moral duty. Yet the very second he chose between grand principles and staying warm, warmth easily won. In under 30 seconds, he frantically fumbled with the trade interface. His face went completely pale. Where are my supplies? Who touched my public backpack? He pressed against the glass and looked outside. Absolute total anarchy. While he lectured me about unity, his own team completely ripped apart their shared inventory like wild, hungry animals, who secretly stole all the communal supplies. Forget cooperation. Everyone is stealing. If they take stuff, I am taking stuff. Absolutely zero trust remained out there. Every single person for themselves outside our cozy bus. The beautiful coalition he proudly assembled was hilariously tearing itself apart. People who stood shoulder to shoulder just 5 minutes ago were now fiercely guarding their personal backpacks, eyeing each other like dramatic rival factions. Deng Yusen whispered, they have totally fallen apart. Wang Mingming snorted, serves them right for trying to unfairly guilt-trip us. But Zhang Wen suddenly went quiet. Here is where it gets interesting. Her eyes widened, leaning in. Chunu, you never actually cared about the water and biscuits, did you? I said nothing. You were brilliantly dismantling the threat. If 80 people stayed united and worked together, they could have targeted us inside the outpost. But now they are paranoid, fractured, and fighting over scraps. When the mission starts, they will be too busy watching their own backs to chase us. Deng Yusen's hand flew straight to her mouth. Wang Mingming's eyes went wide with delayed comprehension. I rented 7 empty seats and charged a totally outrageous price. Not for mere profit, but to inject greed into their ranks. Every single customer secretly stole their team's shared supplies to pay me. Every single theft eroded trust. Every broken promise shattered whatever fragile alliance the director was building. Seeds of suspicion never need watering. They grow entirely on their own. I calmly looked at Director Yu, still standing inside my bus without paying. Time's up. Where's my trade request? His face was a masterpiece of humiliation. His personal backpack remained full of survival gear he would never share. Meanwhile, the shared backpack got looted clean by his people while he lectured me inside my warm bus. He tried one last play. Pathetic smile. Chunu, I'm a teacher, an experienced leader. We could easily cooperate in the mission. I can contribute strategically. Booted right out the door. We both knew this was coming, right? He flew into the snow like expired potatoes. I stood loudly announcing, customer agreed to pay from the public backpack. Public backpack is empty. Payment totally declined. This is no charity. Absolute dead silence outside. Then someone snickered. Then everyone started loudly laughing at him. Not a single person helped him up. Not even his own team. The remaining customers quietly left. They could not pay either, since every team's shared supplies were already hopelessly pillaged by their own greedy members. Door closed. Peacefully restored. Zhang Wan stared at me with a funny mix of pure admiration and a tiny bit of fear. Then she made a dramatic kicking gesture. Should we boot some of them out right now? I almost choked. The class monitor suggested ruthless elimination. 2 days ago, this girl was simply organizing study groups. Now, she makes bold elimination gestures. A true speedrun of character development. Not yet. The mission hasn't started. If we attack now, we completely undo everything we just accomplished. Let them stay fractured. She nodded. Right. Smart. The girls were looking at me entirely differently now. Not just basic respect or dependence. There was a healthy dose of respectful awe mixed in. They just watched me brilliantly manipulate 80 people into destroying their fragile alliances, using absolutely nothing but a simple paper, a cozy bus, and basic human nature. Good. Keeps people honest. And honest people never steal from the shared backpack. The final countdown officially began. I stood up and stretched. Time to go, ladies. Jongwon and Deng Yusen were the epic winter gear I traded for earlier. Proper down jackets and super cozy fleece pants. Warm, practical, perfectly snug, because they were my most valuable assets. Water and crayfish. Pure non-negotiable survival insurance. Li Ming Yao and Wang Ming Ming. They literally looked like they cheerfully raided a thrift store blindfolded. You and I will absolutely love this. Endless fun. Mismatched layers. Cute scarves wrapped like little mummies. Functional, barely fashionable, totally hilarious. Stick with me, you and I are diving into pure survival madness. Everyone stared at Deng Yusen and Jangwon Yua's winter gear with insanely thick, burning jealousy. Deng Yusen smiled sweetly. Thanks, Chinyu. Meanwhile, Jianghua just looked away, feeling totally awkward. She absolutely hated getting free stuff without working for it. Honestly, I found that super charming. I casually waved at the freezing duo in the back. Hey, don't be jealous. I don't have warm clothes either. They literally control our team's food and water, so protecting them is just basic logic. Make yourselves useful, and you'll get warm clothes and meals too. Do your job, get rewarded. Super simple logic right there. Suddenly, the countdown hit 0. I stepped right off the bus into an absolute blizzard. 86 people, 10 broken teams, 3 epic prizes, 1 icy wasteland. Let the games begin. The exact second my boots hit the snow, I instantly regretted every single warm meal I had eaten today. Going straight from a perfectly heated luxury bus to minus 40 degrees felt like stepping right into an absolute nightmare. Invisible ice needles literally stabbed every exposed inch of our skin. My whole squad looked like a walking snowstorm. We puffed out so much white breath. We looked like actual human steam engines. Every single person at the gathering point completely stopped to stare at us. Can you blame them? We just stepped out of a heated luxury bus looking healthy and full, while they had been freezing in this insane blizzard forever. Wang Mingming started whining immediately. This is completely insane. The wind sounds like a howling wolf. Lai Mingao was shivering so hard her teeth were practically chattering a beat. Shinyu, can we please find this prototype fast? 12 hours out here, and I'm basically a walking popsicle. I just led them straight toward the dark crevice. This wasn't some natural cave. It looked like a giant monster literally ripped the earth wide open. Jagged edges leading right down into absolute pitch black. Wind blasted up from the depths like the entire planet was screaming. Zero light down there. Flashlights out, everyone. I ripped mine straight out of my backpack, clicked it on, and started marching down immediately. The girls frantically scrambled right behind me. We were the very first team to enter, while everyone else was completely chickening out. They actually went inside? Are they out of their minds? What if there are monsters down there? My legs are shaking just looking at it. Let's wait. Safety first. Classic. Day 2 of the apocalypse, and everyone is still acting like tourists. But my past experience screamed the exact opposite. You move first, you win. The absolute advantage. Hesitation ends your game. Surprisingly, only one other team followed us. Wang Mingming recognized them as the directing department students. 6 people total. 4 guys, 2 girls. Only 6 of them trailing behind us, she whispered. Absolutely perfect, I replied. Fewer people means way more machines for us. Now, pay attention. This is where it gets crazy. 15 minutes down, it somehow got colder. And then my flashlight caught something glowing. Warm orange light was softly glowing right on the freezing floor. Several thick, fleshy plants were radiating real, actual heat. The solid ice around them melted into little puddles, looking just like tiny campfires sprouting right out of the ground. Oh my god, geothermal ferns. Wang Mingming totally squealed. These are exactly what the mission briefing talked about. Natural heat sources you can carry to survive those fatal cold waves. But the directing team spotted them at the exact same time. Flashlight beams swung wildly around, lighting up faces frozen purple, but completely burning with pure greed. Instant, intense tension. Everyone desperately wanted those life-saving ferns. Portable heaters protecting against minus 80-degree absolute zero waves that could strike any time. Suddenly, one of the directing guys lunged forward, grabbed them. Jiang Wanyua turned to me urgently. Xin Wu. I raised a hand. Wait, something felt way too easy here. I know what you're thinking. A free lunch? Absolutely not. In this apocalypse, if it looks free, you are the lunch. His freezing fingers were inches from the ferns when a creepy, skittering sound suddenly echoed, straight out of the nearby rock cracks. Dozens of massive, translucent worms poured out of nowhere. Every single one had a huge suction cup mouth, opening and closing just like a terrifying, hungry little nightmare. These things were blindingly fast, lunging straight for his reaching hand. What the? Totally too late. Several worms launched like organic missiles and violently lashed right onto his fingers. Snap! White frost instantly exploded from the bite, racing up his arm like literal ice lightning. He screamed in pure panic, but those freaky worms were locked on incredibly tight. Even more nasty worms were already swarming him from everywhere. His entire team completely panicked. One guy whipped out a lighter, screaming that bugs hate fire, but his fingers were way too frozen to strike it. Absolute irony right there. He screamed for help, but nobody moved. His own team completely bolted. They frantically scrambled, tripped, and crawled back about 8 meters. Apparently, that was their psychological version of a totally safe distance. Anyway, the first guy was completely covered in those terrifying frost worms. He stopped moving surprisingly fast. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens next when those freaky worms drag him into the darkness. Stick with me here. The gaps were way too tight for humans, but those monsters? Super strong. Let's just say things got completely wrecked. Shiny you, are those bizarre worms guarding the ferns? Dang, Yen asked, totally chill for someone watching a guy get completely absorbed into the wall. Looks like it. The ferns are their personal heaters. They definitely won't share. Wang Mingming groaned loudly. So, we see epic loot, but cannot touch. Suddenly, Jianghua spoke up. Everyone, turn off your flashlights right now. Leave only mine on low. Brilliant. She completely figured it out. I clicked my light off. Everyone followed. Now pay attention. In the shadows, those bizarre worms lost interest instantly. Without harsh, bright lights bothering them, they just drifted right back to those cozy, glowing ferns. They slid back into their cracks, totally dormant. Light triggered them. Not movement, not sound, just light. The glowing ferns were pure bait. The worms were the trap. Anyone charging in with bright flashlights became a snack. The directing crew huddled in the dark 8 meters back, missing one guy. They were definitely rethinking every single life choice bringing them here. And me? I already formed a plan. Low light, fast hands, constitution, 100. We both know those ferns are mine.